Hello and welcome to Random Roleplay. I'm Deven of TRG Network, and we're back with some more Planeswalkers goodness. It's time for the Hellswalker arc finale, and yes, I promise that this is going to be the longest episode out of the 25, save for maybe the final one, because I have yet to even edit that the first time. And what's the hint for this week? The whole darn episode, fam. Seriously, so many layers, Easter eggs, and foreshadowed elements to this campaign. That being said, I don't want to defeat the purpose of these hints, so this week's episode's hint: time. If you're rewatching this already, I'm proud of you. If you're watching this for the first time, then make sure, if nothing else, that this is the episode you rewatch. I feel like this is going to be one of the most, wait, that's what that meant? Episodes of this entire campaign, so do keep that in mind. That being all said, do make sure to like, and if you haven't already, subscribe because this channel needs it. Like all channels, of course, but this one especially so. And without further ado, on to the show. So, we return to Fort Knucklebone on the outskirts of Avernus, and the liberated party of Cassius the Tiefling, Arudim the Half-Orc, Naleek the Half-Elf, and Crantor the Gallataur. Last we left off, the group closed in on an outer perimeter of Ves Neonza's domain, and prepared an ambush on the group of individuals guarding it. As the group, mainly Cassius and Naleek, dispute the methods, the ambush ultimately fails, with Cassius being prematurely sighted, and telepathic communication playing to the enemy's advantage. This matters not, however, as the group begins a play into the ground troops, while the Hobgoblin Mage gets a spooky, sneaky Arudim sending shivers down his spine. Scoping out... I knew you'd like that. Scoping out the battlefield, Arudim has a guest join him in the form of Liamor, who calls for parley, and offers to bring them all to Kosil peacefully. Upon doing so, they come to find out that Kosil abducted Archmage Fellhandle's daughter on behalf of a third party, and ultimately strikes a deal with them all to have them do an exchange for him, in return for him retrieving the child. Getting off extremely lucky, the party is offered a teleportation trip by Liamor, after he tends to Kosil's command. Cassius takes his time to bond to Zariel further, and they ultimately are teleported to the monument to Tiamat, where their next quarry awaits. Wow, I was struggling with that.
Okay, but Tiamat is the coolest thing in Dungeons and Dragons, in my opinion.
Why do you think every campaign, whether or not she's homebrew, keeps her in?
Oh, I'm a snake. Sorry.
You good? It's funny. That's a cute.
Sorry, my scaly is showing.
As you all appear, the first thing you guys notice is the ground being coated with a layer of snowy soot and patches of ice, underneath of which you still see the Avernian gravel poking out of, which is much more red than you saw elsewhere. Sure enough...
Now, question, is it because of the minerals, or is it blood-stained?
Probably both.
Can we not tell? Oh my god, no! Oh no!
You know that this entire plane has been essentially an eternal battlefield for what is called the Blood War. But sure enough, the fireballs in the sky remain, shooting in the direction you face, and the air still smells of ash as black snow rains down slightly. You guys know that essentially what is considered north on this plane is where the fireballs come from, so essentially you guys are facing south right now.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is it noticeably colder than the other areas of Avernus?
Not at all. In fact, at first appearance, this seems like a snowy setting, but it's not really. In fact, it's not. Okay. It's very likely that there's a volcano nearby. But you guys notice you guys are on the side of a mountain, just an elevated cliff on the side of a mountain. And Liamor, your Yagnoloth guide of sorts, will at least mention. We're all on a mountainside, close to the monument. We'll have to travel down the path a bit. I hope you all don't mind.
Cassius just kind of raises his hands, interlaces his fingers behind his head, and just kind of leans his head back.
Arudim just smiles, knowing that, first of all, he's happy that this is going to be coming to an end, and at the same time, he's also happy that he now knows of a very interesting possible new client.
Yes, you could very likely...
Crantor's just worried that there's going to be stairs on this hike.
Crantor, you can tell that the path is more or less safe enough for you to travel down. It's not too inclined.
It always breaks the immersion when there's stairs on a hike.
So yes, you guys all continue down the path, and it won't take long for you guys to see the most clear spectacle. Right down to your right, a massive dragon skull. Acrid smoke oozing out of it. And move us over to our current map. You are on the top right.
You ain't kidding when you said this was a big
Okay.
map.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
I also want to clarify just for a few things in this map. After extensively examining it, I was not able to discern whether or not this was the Styx, or if this was the Styx, or if it was all gravel. Found a different version of the map that had it more gravelly, and then this was still here, but looks like this. It was all very confusing, so I've just decided to rule it as all ground.
Enough.
So, just to double check, this part here that is getting the teal ping,
Yes.
this is ground.
Yes, all of this is ground. I will say the up here in the corner is where it is highest. As you've been coming down, it has been getting lower to the ground. I will clarify that the black lined red stone is an elevated surface. So like this is higher up. I will also rule that this is higher up. As you see this spine of sorts, probably a dragon spine. Honestly, couldn't tell you for certain myself as the DM. It arches over that ground, but otherwise, yeah. This is the lowest most surface.
Oh, sure.
Alright, so now that we've gotten meta things covered, we can get back into explain is, yes, this colossal dragon skull leans against the mountainside as you're all descending, surrounded by bones the size of houses. And of course, this acrid smoke rises from the skull's maw, and you can see, specking the horizon, are several white dragonoid creatures. You would want to assume they're devils, but they're far too much like dragons for you to be certain. And Liam Moore kind of stops short in front of you guys. Well, yeah, as he's where he's at. He points out the skull. He's like, so if it is not clear by now, that is the monument to Tiamat. That is where she is kept watch over in her prison, if you could even call it that. But
that's me out of character.
yeah, and he's going to span his arms out wide, and you'll notice, like, looking out in either direction, the mountainside spans out for at least several mountains before being framed by gargantuan spines on either side. And out farther, which is what you've mainly been able to notice while you're descending from the mountainside, is that it's rather plain and hilly as it goes outward, so there's a lot of plain ground to cover before coming out this far. In other words, fleeing isn't really something you can do from here.
Because we do that so often.
Oh, so often.
So as we near the domain of the five-headed goddess, I must warn you, follow their traditions. You see, down here, you will want to go this path. Follow around the bend until you see, looks over to you, Crantor, a staircase. Climb that staircase.
Wow!
And walk to the mouth of the dragon. There your quarry will wait.
That's so fucking rude!
Just
That's so rude!
the dead
Just
eye
look
of
at
fear just of the stairs.
Oh my god!
The disrespect.
Fuck, dude!
It's so disrespectful.
That is so bad! Jeez!
It's like, no. You will be meeting one of the more passive, but stronger Abishai, Azruketh. So I would do make sure to confirm that you are acting on behalf of Ves Neonza, if he does not ask you himself. Otherwise, he may just have you ripped limb from them.
Fun.
And do look out for the creatures up above. Those are also Abishai, albeit the weakest ones, the white Abishai. They are here in droves.
Arudim makes a mental note, as he does recall white dragons are known to be the most primal of them all.
Oh, yes, the tent as well. Don't disrupt any business.
What's up with the tent?
You'll see it. Well, and he gestures his short arm down the path. Be on your way, gentlemen. And you notice he kind of his eyes squint as he's kind of looking away from you. He just looks over. The hell is that?
Can I roll perception to see what he's talking about?
What does he see? Yeah, as you guys are nearing it, you see a man-shaped absence in the air that first reveals a field of stars. And as you're watching it for another moment, a contorted rainbow of colored bands and then a brilliant white light strobing in and out of existence start flashing in this empty gap. So, I would say you don't need to roll a perception, but an Arcana check.
Ooh, I like Arcana. Arcana is fun because I still have that as a skill due to my rogue.
I am not the best at this, but I will do it.
Ooh, lucky roll, let's go. Claps in chat, that's a 22 perception.
It's not perception, it's Arcana.
Arcana, sorry. It was Arcana, it's the same.
Okay.
I added it correctly, I'm sorry.
Oi, Crantor.
No, this is funny.
That looks like magic to me.
Crantor is still looking shell-shocked with a 1,000-yard stare at the stairs.
You can't see the stairs from here. I will say you can't see them from here, because there's a cliff.
He's mentally visualizing the stairs.
He's got the 1,000-yard stare. I had it once myself.
He's just whispering, stairs.
Nah, I hope Crantor walks in front of you going up these stairs nah, you guys are catching me if I fall. We have to deal with this, so you do too.
Crantor, Cassius will walk up to you, noticing that very distracted look, and he'll, kind of hold out his fist. Oi, if you need help, I got you, mate. I'm stronger than I look.
Do you have any spells that can get me to the top without going up the stairs?
Oh, I'm sorry, out of character.
Maybe.
It's really cute.
Yeah, Naleek's thinking. Naleek kind of creeps in on you, Art. Should I actually use a spell slot for this?
The big guy is being quite vulnerable with us. I suggest doing so.
I got an idea. Then let's keep
Have
it a
these
secret.
little legs.
Let's keep it a secret. I want to surprise him.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea, but go ahead, buddy.
I know what I'm doing. But as he's saying that, you're still sitting there thinking, what is this? Because Arudim, you're the only one who passed the check.
Oh, fuck yes.
And you're able to tell that this creature, it flashes to you like you've seen it before long ago. A chronomental. This creature is known to be built into time itself, residing on locations of historical significance, both past and future.
Okay. Cool. Okay, that makes sense why it's here. But that's so cool.
They're usually drawn to noteworthy places, and they have a reputation as harbingers of calamity. As their
Oh,
Great.
great. Arudim just looks at it.
Yeah, the calamity of the stairs.
Oh god, Crantor's calamity, I think you mean.
Right.
Arudim looks at it, and oh man, I wish I spoke primordial for this. If only I had If only I had absorbed a soul before this.
You still have Infernal from the corpse of the bug.
I still have Infernal, yes, but it's a chronal elemental. I would assume it speaks something like primordial, but I guess
Hindsight is 20/20.
I'll walk a little closer.
Arudim?
And in a voice that, if it wanted to hear me, it could. I guess I'll say something in Infernal. I'll say, how long till shit hits the fan? Legit, I'm just gonna ask it. I might as well.
Cassius,
I might
you
as well
hear
Yeah, I
Arudim
could just
ask
picture.
this
In
with true
Infernal, all you
desperation.
hear, Cassius, is Arudim just go, so how long till shit hits the fan?
So, let me paint the picture from what Crantor would see.
Okay.
So, Crantor, you would literally see Cassius looking at you. Man to man, he's offering you his arm, saying, Oi, I will help you up those stairs. Mid-sentence, immediately pivots, looks right at Arudim. You what, mate?
He literally, without even looking at you, Artem just holds out a hand with a single finger up, like, hold on. Like, not even saying anything, he just goes,
Oh, man.
and he just keeps eye contact with the chronomental. Does it respond?
It does not.
Fuck!
It's still just kind of swishing in its own pattern of lights.
He writes this down as a reminder in a small journal he has, really quickly in Orcish, and he puts it away, ties it up. He'll go over to Cassius, and in Infernal, he will tell Cassius what the fuck that thing is.
Just as you're doing that, Naleek's like, so what is that thing? I'm really sitting here pondering over it, and it looks like something I should know.
Yeah, I
don't-
tackle him! I fucking tackle him!
Naleek?
If he steps closer to that thing, yes!
Yeah, he steps close. He was
Or
more
I
so
block
stepping.
his way.
Yeah, he was stepping
Oh,
around
Cassius-
to get to you. But yeah, that's.
Oh, okay. I thought he was going, like, to walk just straight up towards it, like, Lottie!
Oh yeah, I was about to say, he's within Cassius's arm's reach. He's within Cassius's arm's reach. He'll reach out and like grab him by the, the pauldron or something and just hold him
Yeah,
there.
just like, Yeah, okay, you know what? Artem's like, okay, hold on. Group huddle. He grabs Crantor's beefy arm and he just gently tries to get him into the group hug, the
Huddle.
group meetup. Yep.
He's still looking shell-shocked, but he'll be led.
And he just goes, so, fun fact, I've seen one of those things before. Don't know how I've seen one before. Probably in one of my past lives. That's a chronomental. They usually hang out in places of past, present, and future historical significance and are normally precursors to great calamity.
Oh my god, those are. And he looks over. No, he's kind of like sweating bullets immediately. He's just kind of looking around.
You know, honestly, I would be shocked if one wasn't at the place where Tiamat calls home.
You know what? You're right. But the thing is, yeah, she's gotten out before. But if it's harbingers of calamity, then that means
That depends. It depends, honestly. Is she the calamity, or is it us doing something stupid?
fuck.
Cassius
That's what
just
I'm
kinda-
worried about.
You'll just see
See-
Cassius take his eyes off of Crantor and just slowly turn his head over to you. Well, I haven't done anything yet, mate.
Yet, Arudim says, looking at you very seriously.
That means those things can understand me too. They can understand both of us, Crantor. They understand Celestial.
I mean, considering what they are, I wouldn't be surprised they just understand any language that's spoken.
Fair point.
Again, I don't know for sure, but all I know is it's bad news.
I'm
And if
so
we're going to
nervous.
make it out of this alive so that we can get our paychecks and our bodies intact, I'd recommend that we stay even more on our guard than we usually would be in this situation. Not much of a big jump there, considering we're going into literally one of the most evil creatures in the multiverse's lair.
What are you talking about? Leomore says, standing over there the entire time. Tiamat's a doll once you get to know her.
Okay, question, was that before or after you sacrificed children for her?
Who sacrificed children for her? I do
I
business.
don't know. All I know is that Tiamat is a goddess of evil. And evil usually means tearing down order, destroying things that are happy, like puppies.
In other
So-
evil planes, perhaps, but this is the Nine Hells, where evil is the most orderly.
So are you saying that she's not put here for a chaotic rampage, that she's more or less more negotiable?
Maybe you should chat with her and find out.
I would be very tempted to, honestly. I mean, how many people can actually say they spoke to Tiamat and lived?
Well, there
That
you
would
go.
be a great thing to put on my resume.
I look forward to hearing how it goes. Well, you'll be
Cassius
on your way
will
now.
Lean over.
As we're
Cassius will lean over and whisper into Arudim's ear. Do you want me to roll a stealth check on this one to make sure that
La mort.
Sure, yeah. Stealth check versus perception.
I have pretty good stealth, so
Okay.
Yeah,
that
we
is a
didn't get a
16.
rest.
Oh, well, that's an 18 on the die, plus...
Oh!
Now,
6. 24.
well, shoot,
Now.
buddy.
here's how we test to see if he can speak common.
Oh, so
He was listening to you guys speak common the entire time.
Yeah, he understands us.
Oh, okay. Cassius leans in and just kind of whispers to Arudim. Oh boy, am I glad that I made amends with you know who.
Arudim looks at him, does a cheeky smile, and he's like, yes, I actually owe your grandmother something then. I need to apologize for my rude behavior when I was under the influence of the plane. What do you think she likes? I'll have to get her a gift.
Gift baskets? Wine? Kicks Fireball away as it descends on you. Oh, I know. Gift baskets
is
with
Moore
wine.
actually suggesting this?
No, I was just putting it in character. Arudim actually saying that, and then kicks
okay. Okay, just...
Yeah, now all of a sudden it clicked.
It's like, okay,
the mental image I just got.
What would a fallen angel, ruler of Avernus, enjoy? I doubt she has any that would need improvement, so I doubt any type of weaponry would be sufficient to her standards.
Okay, so yes, Liam Morrison was like, oh, instead of all your hush-hush secret time, perhaps move along? Naleek's like, hush-hush secret time? What? Naleek actually
we don't get paid by the hour, so I guess we don't really benefit from standing around and doing nothing.
Well, what if the thing over there gets involved with us?
What, the chronomental?
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, those, from what I understand, until Calamity hits, they're pretty much stationary.
Ah.
They mostly just camp out and record things. It is a trip looking at it, though. It either reminds me of a bad drug trip from a past life, or a really weird bard college.
Maybe both.
Probably both. Probably from the same life.
Alright, let's get going. Don't worry, Crantor, I'm gonna gust you up the stairs.
You're going to what?
Wind.
Arudim's just gonna chuckle to himself as he goes.
That way you don't have to walk up to him.
Crantor, if it would make you feel better, Cassius will hold out an open hand. Quick test of strength, mate.
Just kind of squints, like, trying to figure out what you're trying to do. Just confusion.
You ever see a wounded warrior? You help him off the battlefield. From one warrior to another, we have to make up for each other's weaknesses. I've got you.
Crantor will understand and will just grunt in acknowledgement.
I miss when he was talkative. You hear Naleek say, Arudim.
I speak when I need to.
Arudim just says, I think it's a nice surprise every now and then. His voice is very nice.
It is. That's why I enjoy talking with him. On Celestia, he just wouldn't shut up.
Is that so, Crantor? He says with a smile looking back.
Naleek's like shooing at you.
Smugly.
Naleek's like
As I recall, Naleek did most of the talking on Celestia.
No, because at one point he was narrating multiple things in various details to Naleek to write down. And also because of the effects of Celestia. And because of the effects of Celestia, he was exceptionally cheery.
You know what? You make a fair point.
When we're done with this, I might just pay a wizard to send us there for a nice little vacation. Happy Crantor sounds like a trip.
Oh yes, and I tell you, you personally would love Lunia, because first of all, it's the only lair that pretty much accepts anybody who's not, like, a goody two-shoes, but also because it has a lot of commerce there.
Wounded, sir. He says very joking. I am, and he, like, tries to do, like, the really dramatic thing where he feigns he's fainting. I am so wounded by your words.
Besides,
I am a paragon of good and justice.
Crantor will say that soon, shortly, I'll be able to take us there myself.
No fooling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by all means.
Plain step, baby.
Why don't you lead the way then, Crantor? You seem to be utmost confident in your abilities.
I thought we would just go on another trip through the astral plane. It was actually cool. We got this ride. Like, I assume everyone's kind of walking at this point, or is Crantor still kind of...
Yeah, we're walking. We're walking towards the stairs.
Walking and talking.
Yeah.
Arudim is very much now realizing, now that he's himself again, he very much enjoys their company.
Yeah, Naleek seeing the difference, too, because pretty much he freed you from your shit, and then you guys got right into battle, so he didn't really get to see the fruits of that, but now he's getting to converse with Arudim, and you definitely feel the difference in how Naleek is behaving towards you, Arudim, because you probably were able to tell to a certain extent that he was keeping his eye on you.
In a way, he knew, and in a way, but it was more subtle.
Yeah.
By the way, Naleek, never had the chance, but I wanted to say thank you.
I thought we did.
Know what came up.
Didn't we have a nice, tearful moment?
I'd like to... that was
hug like a bunch of mushy people.
That was thanks enough for me, at least. As you guys are watching, you hear a creaking step as above you.
From
you
the
see
bones above.
Yes, as you see one of these creatures lurching over, and you can see up close how vile their facial features are. Not like any dragonborn you've ever seen, but they look like what would be a fully grown dragon, but as tall as you. And they are standing on their hind legs, hunchbacked, leering over, watching you, as if they're so ready for you to make a misstep.
Okay, so here, this is what it looks like up close.
You're dropping it in Discord?
Yeah.
The picture of the Abishai? Yes. And
yeah,
you see it has that...
look like that.
Yes, that sword is not drawn. You can see the hilt of it, however, implying that it's strapped to its side.
Neat.
Strap.
I've seen ugly bandits, actually.
Fucking hell!
I guess you could say...
No, we won't say anything. We'll move on.
Map.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I completely just took everyone away from
it. Yeah, for the stream.
Yes,
Not for the stream.
I'm so busy making the tokens move. You guys should have control over Naleek, if anybody wants to move him along.
I can move Naleek with us.
You can actually, I think you can highlight all of us and move us all at once.
I have been doing that so far, but then that requires me to be on my DM's tab.
Right, I was talking to Kobold.
By all means, if you guys need me to, I could do it.
Yeah, if you want to just, highlight all of us.
Alrighty, I will clarify that this is a path that you kind of have to step up onto as it elevates and leads towards this ground just underneath this spine as if it's like a doorway. But
I imagine the three of us all just grab Crantor and just help him up.
He'll accept that.
Naleek, stop. You notice that what you hear, and look up and you see the Abishai drawing their swords. Do you not remember what Leomore told us 5 minutes ago?
No, I was actually really distracted by the Chronomental, to be honest.
We must follow their ways.
Look around, and you start to see multitudes, even from your angles. I would like you all to zoom out very far for a moment. As you from your angle, you can see the two up on this spine. The two up above you, and you can see several on top of the skull. And
okay.
Naleek's kind of pointing out, really look around. These things are everywhere.
Uh-huh. Now, Naleek, again, I apologize for my lack of paying attention. The Chronomental kind of got me in a bit of a tizzy.
Oh, right.
What are we supposed to do?
We need... You see the stairs over there?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go up them.
Okay. So... First things first, we move then. We move off of this, and we go that way then. Okay, simple as that. Crantor, would you like a hand down?
Crantor, you can jump down just fine.
Yeah, he'll gracefully jump down.
Even better.
The little graceful leap trot thing. Just man, this shit ain't nothing. These ain't stairs.
Just Arudim, I love to see him jump.
Again, because he doesn't wear pants.
Still love to see him jump, even more so then.
You should try it from the underside there, Arudim.
Alright, so yes, this is a bit of another little leap down, I'll say about 7 feet or so, off of this little ledge, but it's no biggie.
Arudim does a cool backflip just because he can.
Cassius just walks off and falls, lands on his feet.
Naleek is kind of like pace walking up front. He's like, alright, I'm gonna get this spell ready, then Crantor, just go.
You need help down, Crantor.
Nah, another leap is just fine. It's the little tiny pegs of rock that take such delicate footing.
Going down
Arno
is
adjusts
fine.
his collar as he watches Crantor jump again and just goes,
so. And so
question, Naleek.
Yes.
We're not supposed to help him up?
No, nothing says that. Oh, at least Leomore didn't say that, but now that you're questioning it, I'm getting paranoid.
Okay, so the question is, Crantor, if you took your time, do you think you could get up these stairs by yourself, with us at your side?
I will flavor it like this. Yes, you could do it, but it hurts your feet to put so much of your weight onto just one leg at a time because of the angles you have to step at. You almost essentially have to pull up all your weight with 1 or 2 legs at a time, which is 2,100 pounds. Massive thighness or not, still a lot of stress on the joints.
Yeah,
Would I
plus
be able to
went
provide-
take time.
Would I be able to provide support if I were to go and let him lean on me?
Ooh,
Or could we just do the gust idea?
Yeah, he's like,
There's that too.
I trust Crantor to land on his legs because, again, he can land on all 4 of them, or at least 2 of them in one instance, as opposed to eat the pressure of each step.
I mean, if anything, you can start the gust, and if the Abishai look hostile to the idea of helping him up, then we can just stop.
Honestly, if they have a problem with us helping him upstairs, then I want to know what the hell their traditions are, because, I mean, they're just fucking stairs, and they all have wings. Like, Naleek says this so
What if someone
brazenly.
came to them and they couldn't walk? What would they do then?
Cassius, Arudim, you hear very distant and infernal, "The meat's so lucky," from this Abishai.
From which one? This fucker? Or that fucker?
That fucker, yeah.
This fucker!
Yeah.
The meat, so lucky. So lucky.
So yes, for
Arudim just looks at
People
it
start
and just goes, like, yeah, okay, hold on, let me find the fucking face.
Crantor, you will see Cassius with his eyes closed. Don't respond. Don't say anything. Suppress the urges.
It's just a face.
Go
He
get us
looks
up
at
here.
it, pans to the camera, and just gives that face like, I don't even, what?
Alright, so let's see how this works. And he casts I didn't click it in chat.
We love druids.
Wind wall.
Yes, we do. We love druids. How about you?
He casts Wind Wall.
Oh, we got wind wall.
Yes, to make it.
I thought he was just doing gust.
Oh no! Gust would not be enough for the lad. That would fuck.
He's
He used the
too
word.
much of a unit.
He's way too.
He really
oh wait,
is.
actually, I think I may have found the spell I was looking for. Oh yeah, this is the one because it's
Tato.
yes because. Wind Wall implies
Gust of
that
wind.
Crantor would be dragged up the stairs as he was gusted up them.
Ow, ow, ow.
Yeah. Whereas Gust of Wind implies that the line can be shaped in a direction parallel to the stairs, in other words, an angle. So for brevity's sake, I'm just going to flavor this where he casts it at an angle. Crantor, you jump into the wind and willingly let it carry you, and it flings you up the stairs. You fall out, and you don't even, no check needed. You brace yourself, land on all 4, skid a little, you're set.
I want a Superman punch, though.
Oh, then you Superman punch, and holy fuck, did you cause a crater.
Good.
Oh, damaging property.
Arudim.
Let's go. I'm sorry, did you guys not want to go up the stairs yet? I just rushed you up.
Oh, no. This is just for flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
I feel like
Cassius just leans in. Why is Crantor always so goddamn cool?
I
Why?
would attribute it to the fact that he has probably a traumatic past, a scar on his eye, the gold armor, the celestial experience in favor of said celestials. He has a reason to prove himself, and probably, I'd say about a 50% chance he lost a lover in the past.
Naleek's like, damn, Arudim, save for that last one, you're spot on, and I'm not even certain about that last one, so I can't say for sure you weren't accurate. Huh. And he looks back
I'm
over
really
at
good at
Crantor.
reading people.
He looks back over at Crantor. I wonder.
Is he single?
We could pay a wizard to do that later. But
Oh my
for
God.
now-
Is he single? That's fucking oof.
That's absolutely the energy that was.
No, for real. No, for the 3 of us are all like, is he single? This is the very first poly party.
And
Oh
he is
my.
painfully oblivious to all of it.
I am here for the poly party energy.
Oh my god, guys. You guys are too much sometimes.
But it would be so wholesome and badass.
Would it though?
Cool.
So
my
a
God.
paladin, a rogue, a druid, and a warlock all form a bond.
You know what's so cool to me is that you recognize Naleek more for his druidness than his clericness, even though he only has 1 level in druid.
To be be fair, it's the wooden armor that makes it more that.
Yeah.
And the good
Plus anti-life shell.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I really had to look into a lot of shit to make Naleek work, because I'm like, okay, so does the druid's thing for wooden armor bleed over into multi-class? And people were like, pretty much everywhere I looked, it was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, let's fucking figure this out. You know what? And I'm saying, you know what, fuck this. He's literally gonna be in a forest-filled celestial layer of heaven. Let's make him make his own. He's a wood elf. And it was just like, oh, this is too perfect.
Wood elf, druid, in celestial forest. I wonder where he could get some armor.
But bringing this back around to Naleek and Arudim, you'll know why. You guys are seeing, as soon as you look over to this skull, Naleek's face go pale.
Let me guess. The mist?
No, it's the sudden overload of Tiamat in the way of this former worshipper of Bahamut, as you found out in your first watch.
No! Alright, Arudim is going to look at Naleek. He's going to say, hey. And he puts a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
5 heads aren't always better than one, friend. Best to keep ours on our shoulders. I'll be here with you.
Oh, but Tiamat's no big deal.
Oh no, she is.
Well, not.
What I want you to do is be confident, but not overconfident. Don't lie to yourself, but be true to yourself as well. Believe in yourself.
Does Cassius hear this?
Yeah.
Was Crantor?
I'd imagine you all are kind of gathering this. I can't imagine Arudim's like trying to keep it hush hush. He's just like speaking straight to
No, he's
Naleek.
just basically just trying to give Naleek like a look. I understand why you're behaving this way, and I sympathize with that, but if shit goes south, I'll body block you. Look,
Naleek's
I'll
like,
probably be back if I die, so it's not like my life technically matters.
Whoa, stop it. Okay, listen. You look at me right now, okay? Are you telling me if you die and you reincarnate, you're going to remember me?
There's like a 5% chance I might.
Then no, that's not odds we play with. Then it's not really you. It's just your soul finding a new identity. Which means you, Arudim, are the one who is our comrade. Not whatever life you were before or after. And you see he's serious about that. You could tell he's trying to blow off your death is blasé mindset.
You really feel that way, don't you?
Absolutely.
He's got a point.
Your life
Kinda
has so
within
much
the
more
system,
value than just being a host for an ever-living soul.
Yeah, I'm with him on this one, Arudim.
Crantor will grunt approvingly.
Very well.
No, go ahead.
Since
Continue.
you've all unanimously voted that somehow I matter, I suppose I'll believe you.
You lead a tribe. You wouldn't lead a tribe if you did not matter. Let alone
I
a
try
tribe.
to teach them another way. That's the point. Orcs and half-orcs were scrutinized and hated all across the land, because we are simply known for war, savagery, slavery, and bloodshed.
Yeah, how do you think a tiefling feels, man? We're constantly associated with devils. We're looked upon and reviled in most civilized societies.
I started that clan to change everything.
No, he just looks over. Cassius, and you too, man, okay? You obviously have gotten some thick skin about it, but I don't want you letting anybody convince you that you should be locked into some sort of role because of your heritage.
Cassius just turns and you'll notice he's holding his pendant. He goes, no, mate, I don't have thick skin. I had good family.
No, he smiles. That sounds
They do
weird.
say blood is thicker than water.
Damn straight it is.
No.
He looks up at the sky.
Naleek, in response to what you said, Cassius, is like, yeah, that does sound nice. Like with a smile on his face, but you can tell it's kind of a fake smile.
I never told you about my sister, did I?
You've mentioned her a few times. I've put together what I need, but I think what I need to do personally is step forward towards this literal devil looking me in the face. And Naleek kind of just walks past you, Arudim, as he's got his hand on his claymore.
Arudim just,
trying to keep a straight
Arudim
face.
can tell he's nervous, so he wants to lighten the mood. He's going to whisper a joke to him.
Crantor, you also can tell why Naleek is all bothered by this whole situation because of how he's kind of a questioning worshipper of Bahamut, instead following Heracles at the moment.
Bahamut?
I did say that, didn't I?
You did.
Once.
It's canon now.
No, Muhammad is just Muhammad's mother.
No, I did say.
It's Muhammad.
I thought you were questioning the. I did use a B.
No.
It's Muhammad.
Roll back the tape.
I will be rolling back the tape several times over to edit clips properly, I'll have you know. And I will inform you in approximately 2 weeks' time whether or not I did say Muhammad or not.
I'm pretty sure you did, but if not, then
I assure you I will be honest. If I did say it, I'll own up to it in full force, but I am confident I did not.
I'm waiting for when it happens.
Just ... You were right.
Literally edit it so that it just goes. It like in the most robotic voice. It says Bahamut. Like right when you say Bahamut.
Oh, that's even better. No, I was gonna say like nothing ever comes up. A few weeks from now, Castor watches the episode and be like, "Hey, so I didn't notice that Bahamut bit. Whatever became of that?" And it was like, I must have just glossed over it.
I just
20 minutes just cut
it out. It's too much time.
It's not like he can't just re-record the line anyway.
Oh, I have realized recently that I can do that, but I also realized that I have to get the same like mic setting, mic distance, like the same tone of voice.
That's true.
So
it is so hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, nonetheless, as you approach, let me get back to my notes and get us on track. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my god, I never clarified. Okay, so Liam Moore handed to you guys before you left, obviously, what you're exchanging.
It was a sapphire, wasn't it?
No. Wait, no. The Hardy has handed a pouch with 5 gems of necromancy and 5 elemental gems. They will be exchanging this for 350 soul coins.
Wait, soul coins?
Yes.
That sounds like a cool form of currency I don't know about.
Yes,
hell of capitalism.
Arudim just deals into Naleek. He's like, okay, look, I'm not good with cheering people up, but hey, what does a dragon eat for a snack?
People.
Firecrackers.
I needed that. And he gives you a pat on the shoulder. Thanks, man.
He just finger guns, like, my sense of humor is not dead, it is very much alive. Okay, so soul coins, out of character, I don't even know what those are.
That's awesome. So
that sounds metal as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, as you guys have come around the staircase and seen all of the White Abshai lurking above you, watching you.
Did they react to doing the gust spell, by the way?
They were watching you very, very closely, but they did not act upon it. The closest you saw, Crantor, was when you flew up the stairs and almost landed. The ones that were actually on top of the tent that I forgot to bring attention to, which has like a dozen, they all like leaned back ready to attack. Because they were probably thinking you were forging an attack, but once you just stopped and then just like caught up with the party, they were very keen to tame themselves.
Gotcha. Okay. Confirming.
But yes, you guys will see the smoke start to clear a little as you approach, just enough for this Abishai to be seen. This blue Abishai holding a quarterstaff, stepping out, looking very elderly in a way. Starts flapping and lands on the edge. He's an old coat. Yeah, as his wings flap, the smoke cleared away from him a little, almost giving him an ominous backdrop as he is on an elevated surface above you. I want to say the maw of this dragon is roughly 10 feet up. So he is standing at an elevated surface looking down at you all.
Getting Subnautica vibes, and I love it.
But yes, the creature will introduce himself. In Infernal, he's going to speak at. Hello. I am Astrogeek, the guardian of Tiamat's domain. And you all were sent? That is a question.
That's true. That's true. We was. Trying not to speak over me mates here. One of them is feeling a lot like his old self. But yes, we were sent to... But what was it? Ves Neonza, was it? I'm not that good with names.
Kosil the Damning school.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
Kosil.
that guy.
Yes, the Rakshasha, very rich, very blasé.
Are you saying this in Infernal?
Yes.
Okay, just want to clarify. Are you certain you're not here? on behalf of Zariel.
Oh no.
While my friend does have connections with Zariel, our business is purely business.
I mean, to be fair, mate, I didn't know about my connection with Zariel until just a few days ago.
That is true.
It was purely coincidence.
Quite hilarious, honestly.
He squints his eyes looking at you. I see. And what of the two Celestials?
Once again, business and business only.
Hired muscle, so to speak.
Very muscly. Looks at the both of them.
They do not belong here.
Understandable, however, due to our job and our pay, they do for the time being. I
Emphasis
promise they
on-
won't cause any trouble.
Emphasis on the term hired muscle.
Yes.
Good. I wish to see Zariel fall, and we may soon come a time where that happens. He flaps and lands directly in front of you, Cassius.
I'm just a tiefling, mate. What do I know?
All things come and go, as they say.
Yes.
The blood war's been raging for thousands of years. It'll rage for thousands more, long past my lifespan. Even if I die of old age, it'll last longer than I'll ever live.
If Zariel oversees the blood war, or rather, continues to do so, then it is not long before favor falls in the demon's laps.
Would I know if Tiamat is trying to aid the demons in any way, like historically, because she's like imprisoned here, or can I make that assumption?
I will say make a history check. We'll say this is our
I'm really good at those. That was a lie. I am not good at those at all.
Hey, if you're proficient in literally anything, you could just resort to the passive score.
That's gonna be a 14 history.
All right, yeah, you are not entirely certain, but you do know that that Tiamat has most often been known to associate with devils, if any kind of fiend, simply because of where she resides. Right.
Okay. Do I know what sent her here? Like, was she? I think he mentioned the Loth. Didn't he mention that like she trapped here for a reason or imprisoned here?
At no point in time in this campaign was it ever clarified why Tiamat is prisoned here currently, but historically it is known...
No. Did he say that she was prisoned here?
Yes.
Like, we know that she's a prisoner in Avernus. We don't know how or why, though.
Yes, Leomore has referred to this as the prison of the five-headed goddess.
Okay, interesting. Arudim just looks to the blue Abishai, and he says, "My dear friend, as long as we receive our payments, there will be no trouble, and you won't have to worry about us coming back here anytime soon."
I'm certain. Unless you have already visited the All-Knowing.
You're going to have to be a bit more specific.
Oh, dear, you are much more innocent than I thought.
I'm an old soul, but a young body.
That is their title, the All-Knowing. A fortune-teller, a mind-flayer fortune-teller, who resides in Sigil. Legend has it, they know everything.
Well, I can show you we've never met anyone like that, mate.
If we had, we probably would still be there asking many, many questions.
Oh, it is only one question per teller.
Well, I already know exactly what question I'd be asking.
It sounds like a fascinating detour we ought to take.
I could get you to Sigil, if you would like.
Oi, 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 oi.
We'll speak of this after our current transaction, but you certainly have our attention.
Good. I am certain you would not want to have to venture through the outlands to reach it, nor would you likely succeed.
Fair is fair, my friend.
And so, he starts to pull out a pouch, and you guys start to feel, not hear, feel howling.
Like the actual, sound vibrations, but we don't hear anything?
Like a groaning howl, but echoing hundreds of times over.
That's a new one.
Now, do present me your half of the bargain.
We're gonna look back to the other two. Time to present our share, and I say in common, so that they understand.
Who has the
Who
bag?
was it that had it?
I'm guessing Crantor did, because he's, kind of...
I'm pretty sure we gave it to Crantor.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, Crantor will procure the bag,
Alright, so Andrew will step over to you and he'll do a same time exchange with you. So like slowly elevating the bag as you do yours. And as soon as you guys grab the opposite bags, he yanks his hand back, and I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
Sure thing.
Do you have anything that helps you against being frightened?
Probably.
I don't think he can be frightened.
If you're immune to being frightened, then that means you'll automatically pass the saving throw, which would be fucking nuts.
I think paladins are immune to fear at
He's
his
not a
level.
paladin
anymore.
Oh, he's not?
He's a planar.
I'm planar.
Remember?
What does that mean?
It's a homebrew class. It's a third caster homebrew class.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I thought he was a planar paladin. Like, I thought it was a subclass.
An oath of planar. Honestly, if there was, we probably would have just gone with that, but when we found this...
There is.
When Astro found this, I must clarify, I was like, this needs to happen.
There's already an oath for that.
I didn't realize that.
Oh. Huh. You must have looked over that.
Nothing that I can see that gives me immunity to that. So, that's going to be an 18 charisma. Oh, save? Or was it save? Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be 18 either way.
Well, as you grab the coins, you become horrified as those howls echo through your body and start vibrating your very soul. You drop the bag of coins, and you are now frightened of them for one...
Can I pick up the coins before they fall everywhere?
The bag is sealed tight. The bag will just fall to the ground.
Oh, okay, but can I pick up the bag then?
Yeah, and in doing so, you also will have to make the save. Charisma saving throw.
Charisma?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I have anything against fear effects. But I'm just gonna double check just in case. I doubt I have anything though.
Crantor, you drop that bag. Scared of it like few things ever in your life. You felt the trapped souls in each and every single one of those coins echoing out to you, pleading for help all at once.
Crantor will just have the shell-shocked look back on his face and just be shaking a little bit. Just say, the howling, the screaming. Ugh.
While Arudim reaches down to grab them, he'll see the very same, cartoonish floating hand next to his. Good lend a hand, mate. But
He laughs as he picks up the bag. Because that's a 21 charisma save, let's go!
You get a grip on it for a moment, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then it starts to overtake you. The howling echoes your very essence. You feel them clamoring out to you, pleading for their lives back. And you drop the bag, terrified.
What?
Yeah.
21?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Cassius will pick it up with the mage hand.
You see the Abishai wreathing in pleasure as he watches you all struggle. You try to do what, Cassius?
I'm going to use the mage hand to carry it.
It is too heavy.
It's more than 10 pounds?
Yep, these coins are large. Like, Arudim, you can tell because the duffel bag size. In Crantor's hand, it looked normal, but in your hand, it is like a small Santa bag, as these coins are almost palm-sized individually.
I thought it was like a small, coin pouch, fit in the palm of your hand.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I should probably have clarified that a little bit more. I'm all over the place tonight. I'm sorry.
When you said pouch, I'm like, oh yeah, tiny, mage hand.
I should not have said, pouch was probably the first. I should have said bag of coins. Because I do have that worded here as bag of coins. Yes, nonetheless, I will clarify the bag is roughly like a foot or a foot and a half in diameter, I guess, in width.
So Cassius is trying to play this intelligently, having seen this happen twice. I'm sure he figured out that it's the bag. He's going to summon his pact weapon, but he's going to summon it as a long hook staff.
Damn.
Improved pact weapon.
I'm not sure how to rule this, so I think I gotta.
I was about to say, can we just tie the bag to a rope and drag it?
Theoretically, yes, but that's a very poor way to treat money in a place that it could get stolen.
Cassius will just say, oi, Naleek, watch me back, mate. And
you know what? Crantor comes up with an idea. He takes off his helmet and says, put it in this. Dragon scale, I'm sure would be enough to prevent...
I do want to... I'm going to look into... You guys probably got this figured out, but I'm going to double check just so...
that's true. That's gold dragon scale armor.
Because this is not a made-up thing. I didn't homebrew this.
No,
Soul
this is an actual effect.
Yeah, an actual D&D thing, and it's normally a save for just touching one. This is 350 coins.
Well, there's also an ulterior motive that Cassius has right now. above game, he's...
Okay, so the coins are 5 inches in width and 1 inch in thickness. They individually weigh 1/3 of a pound, whereas normal coins
Oh,
are
wow.
like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's an impressive weight.
1 second. I need to go find. Okay, there we go. Technically, you are still carrying it, aren't you?
I mean, it is within the helmet, so technically he's carrying the helmet, and the helmet is carrying the thing. Technically
fuck
speaking.
it.
Technically, the helmet is carrying the bag, which is holding the coins.
I'll let it be. Because if Cassius doesn't pass the save, then you guys are just going to sit here until somebody does. So, for brevity's sake, we will say eventually...
I was about to say, we literally can't move until one of us figures
Yeah, so we'll clarify again for brevity's sake that Cassius will probably be the one carrying the helmet just because he can hold it best. But anyone who is of a not evil alignment can't carry more than a few coins at a time, which is why I flavored the save, and the fact that there are so many coins accumulated at once, even an evil creature would not be able to carry them easily. It is an extremely large check.
So then, would it work if we divided the coins between all of us?
Yeah. I would have to lower the DC. But again,
How many
for
coins
brevity's
are
sake,
there in total again?
350. But I will say again for brevity's sake, we got this with the helmet situation. Cassius is going to have it figured out, and not figured out, but he'll have a grip on it, hearing the howling, but not be so disturbed that he cannot keep a grip on it. Eventually, your guys' fear of the coins faded after a minute or so. You weren't actively scared of them, but it's more so like you won't try to pick them up again right away.
Right.
So above game, knowing how these guys absolutely just despise Zariel, and again, not saying this in character, I was using the pact weapon to basically get Zariel's attention.
Aha. Yeah.
Since that's where it comes from.
We'll say, to sum it all up, at first you tried using the pact weapon, which indeed alerted Zariel. You used her power that alerts her, and you hooked up the bag, and we'll say you had to make the check there and were not able to. So instead, you guys came up with this helmet plan, this being celestial armor. Perhaps it will help nullify the effects. Additionally, Cassius being tied to the hells, innately tied to evil creatures, makes it a little bit easier. And so, Cassius, you can get away with carrying it under these circumstances.
Just for hilarity, would a 23 have passed?
Just for clarity, no.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, no. This is essentially this is designed that if you aren't a level 17 warlock, you're not going to be able to carry these things very easily, and even then. So yeah, that is part. You now kind of get an impression of why you were sent to handle this task that seems so medial in description.
That makes sense.
Kosil would not have wanted to handle this, nor would he have trusted his own men to do it, because if something happens, well then those are his men he has to replace.
On top of that, he would have to trust his own men not to steal.
And he employs a lot of Yugoloths, and you know how Yugoloths are. They're loyal until something better comes along.
Yeah.
So yes, for brevity's sake,
it's hard to get much better than working for one of the richest things in the multiverse, but yeah.
You never know. If a god straight up says, "Hey, yo, do this," I mean,
to be fair, money versus godhood.
Exactly. So for brevity's sake, switching us over to this map,
Okay.
Yes, because you guys will have safely traversed the path back, once again passing the chronal mental, giving you that last sense of discomfort with the circumstances, and you will come back to Leomore holding the coins. He'll snatch the bag right out of your hands, out of the helmet. Actually, you know what? He will not have done that. Leomore is smarter than that.
I was about to say, really quick, before we get up there, one, Arudim just prepares his knife just in case if shit decides to ambush us. And two, he's going to lean into Naleek and tell him another dragon joke. Try to help calm his nerves a little bit. He says, "What's the most stressful thing about being a red dragon?"
You got a lot of heat on you?
Trying to blow out the candles on your birthday cake.
Oh, that's
okay, I like that one. I like that one. I'm
Crantor
gonna
just
tell
goes
Miss
fall
Mason
at
that.
that.
She gonna like that.
Like a big old belly laugh at that.
Oh, here, Crantor, this one's for you. He holds out his journal and he reads it. "Well, why do dwarves hunt dragons in the morning?"
Why?
"Because the early beard gets the worm."
I've heard that one before.
Crantor
Really?
is not, and he loves it.
Naleek's like, really? I laughed at that when I was like 22. And you guys will start making your way back to the cliffside. You'll see Liamore standing in the exact same position he was, leaning against the rock, seeing you guys approach, and he tilts his head up, almost like oh, you survived.
Huh, that's surprising.
No, not surprised, more so relieved.
Good for you.
He's not surprised, he's relieved.
Like, oh, great. Less work for me.
Yeah, exactly. The impression is he'd probably have to go do the exchange if you failed.
Of course we survived. Who do you think we are?
I have no idea who you are, that's why I didn't trust you to. But Kosil did. And so the master gets as he wishes. Shall we be on our way?
That'd be preferable, mate.
Alright, back up the mountainside we go. You guys see one of the fireballs that are coming over the top of the mountains crash very close to Tiamat's residence, just outside of the map's range, I'll say.
You'll see Cassius has a huge fucking grin on his face.
Oh, you saw a lot of the Abishai get slightly unnerved at it, more so just because that's a hazard of the plane, you know? Just like a bad windstorm or a tornado or something, you don't want to get caught with one of those fireballs falling.
Cassius just passes Arudim a knowing glance with a big ol' smile like, yeah.
Arudim just, he gives it back. They both give the knife cap face to each other.
Alrighty, and with that being the case, you guys are going to now you guys will make it back to the higher platform that you guys were residing on, and you will see the sigil of the teleportation circle engraved in the gravel. Go over to it, cast the spell, and immediately the portal will open on the ground again. And he'll step right into it, whether or not you guys do.
I'd imagine we do.
Oh yeah, if you
we
follow
would.
suit, then you do. But he wasn't going to wait for you guys to trust him.
Step onto the teleportation circle. What happens when a dragon gets bored of strict stakes?
Bloop, you all teleport.
As they're teleporting, flaming yawn. And they all just laugh when they come out the teleporter, like, what's so funny? You had to be there.
You had to be there.
Nemo's like, what?
Yeah, you had to be there. It's fine. It's fine.
Whatever.
Nah, don't worry about it.
You all
Just don't worry, Kosil. We're teaching you underling about the joys of humor.
Oh no, Kosil isn't right here in the room.
No.
I know. That was above game.
Okay, gotcha. Alright,
We're teaching him culture.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, remember, Cassius just loves to talk shit to Kosil.
Yeah.
But if he kills me, that means I win.
Oh, I can't wait.
Alrighty, so with this being the case, okay, so Liamore leads up to the front, and he's like, now let us go see the master. Liamore leads forward, and the portal disappears as the last one of you passes through it. And Naleek's gonna... well, no, not that close. Naleek would not be that close. Cassius don't give a fuck, though.
You know, he right, though.
I imagine Crantor's right up there. Actually, no, that probably wouldn't work, because you guys are gonna go through the... oh, no. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, wait. Map. Oh, never mind. We're good. So, yes, you guys, again, begin to lead down the hallways that you could have swore you just heard footsteps down. Going up stairs, but much wider stairs, Crantor. You can actually go up them at a fair pace without having to sacrifice your mobility or your comfort.
Hell yeah.
Thank God.
Yes, exactly. You almost end up going like one step, like, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like striding up each step with each leg, just as a way of, again, easing the strain it may cause.
Yeah,
But-
he has to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, exactly. No one's going to criticize. Oh my God, Cassius barely know each other.
Shit.
If they do, then they'll regret it. He's got that
If
big
they
fuck
do,
up.
they will fail. And if they don't, they will die.
All right.
Basically.
So with your passive perceptions, only Arudim will notice. Aside from the Candleloth, of course, playing pet down at the end of the hallway, and I've moved you guys off the map at this point. Arudim, you would have heard some footsteps right across the wall as you guys were going by. You could definitely tell they weren't any of your guys' footsteps, because they were going in the opposite direction.
So they're going away from us.
Momentarily, and they stopped right around here.
I don't see anything.
No.
Arudim is just going to tap Crantor. And as we keep going, he's just going to make a motion in front of him, so if anything behind him tries to see, it won't. He just points from his chest behind him where he heard the noise.
Are you trying to be secretive about this?
Yes, definitely.
All right, I would like you to roll me a sleight of hand check then.
Oh,
I know what I just
sleight
asked.
of hand.
Oh, that's nice.
Because guess what that is right there, boys? That's a crispy 29 or 28 sleight of hand.
Okay, yep, you beat out his 20 in perception. Oh, I'm sorry, 19 in perception. So he's not.
Let's go.
He's not noticed you as you gestures to Crantor. What is it you're gesturing to him? Without being too
I'm
detailed.
gesturing to him that there's something behind us, like 100%.
I see. Yeah.
Like he kind of, he makes his hand flat, does a walking motion with his other hand, and then pretends to wipe his eyes, but like kind of phases his hand in front of his eyes, like I couldn't see it, but there is somebody behind us, you know?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, you piece it together. You turn around. You kind of glance over your shoulder in a natural way that doesn't make it look like you're looking, and you come to the conclusion that there's something behind that's probably invisible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, already.
Crantor will just keep his axe close, but he won't be fully bringing it out. It's kind of having a hand on it. Holding an action, one might say.
Holding an action, my good sir.
Yes, I will do the same.
If anything ambushes us, I'm gonna fuck it up.
I'm gonna fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Can I hold a cunning action?
Yes.
Or can I only hold action things?
No, you can hold bonus action things. It just takes your action to do so. So it's like do I want to?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold a bonus action disengage and blast it because it's part of the cunning action to do so.
Yep.
Can't touch this.
Yeah.
Gotta admit, it's a little dark in here.
Yes. Creatures who are coming in here either have dark vision, true vision, or tremor sense. What the need for light, say for the room we intend to do business with mortals in.
Yeah, fair enough. Never been hindered by the darkness myself.
I'm certain. In fact, I look amongst you all. Are there any of you who can't see very well right now?
Insight. Why the fuck is he asking?
Because I brought it up?
Yeah.
Oh, still, fuck you. That's suspicious.
You're being kind.
To be fair, for Arudim,
I
probably wouldn't trust anybody of the Loth family.
Remember the deal that you signed. You read the contract, so you know that you are being guaranteed safety if you do this right, if you do the job right. So unless, and you were informed clearly of the task. Yeah, no,
Right, but okay, now that I think about it, what are the consequences of them not upholding their end of the bargain?
Shit, yeah, you never discerned that.
Not from the contract?
I will say this, though you know Rakshasa is not a devil, you know that the Nine Hells typically operates in an orderly way like this.
Right, but what's stopping him?
The contract's wording.
Is Zariel gonna uphold the law, come down here and be like, don't you talk to my grandson that way?
No, Zariel would...
Legit, who's gonna stop him?
No, but that's him. That's it. The wording of his contract implies if you do this task for him successfully, then you are provided the child safely and you are provided safety to leave. He will not attack you. You will be able to safely leave the plane under his watch, is the implications of the contract. You can tell that this could be worded, worst case scenario, he just lets you walk and his men don't do anything to you until you leave. Best case scenario, he makes sure you guys leave safely. But
okay.
I'm
gonna look to Naleek and Cassius, turn away, putting my back to Liamor. I'm going to just glance to where we came from and give them a very determined and serious look as I just glance over there. Then I turn back around with a normal face.
You'll see Cassius, before you do, you'll see Cassius go, oh, right, forgot one thing, mate. Reaches into his pouch.
Oh no.
Pulls out the flask.
Oh no.
Oi, Naleek, I need you to do me a favor, mate.
He was very hesitant, but he's... Yeah?
Cassius will release Lucy from the flask and immediately put the flask back into his pouch.
I'd like you to roll me a stealth check if you're trying to do this in a way that isn't visible to Liamor, because he is 10 feet tall and standing right next to you.
Would it be stealth or sleight of hand?
I'll say sleight of hand.
Because one does not impose disadvantage.
I was about to say, could I assist by fidgeting with my displacer cloak.
Sure. I'll say that Cassius can make the check with
Casually
advantage.
adjusting my displacer cloak so you have advantage.
So would that give advantage or prevent disadvantage, or what?
No, it gives you advantage.
Would you have disadvantage?
Castor is questioning that because Cassius's armor imposes stealth. However, even if this was a stealth-based check, I would not give you the disadvantage because it is not physically stealthing. Which I've been thinking about flavoring as wisdom-based stealth checks if you guys are going to be like stealth speaking or something like that. But I really got to think about that. Let's see.
That a sleight of hand is a 17. I am not rolling very well tonight. I have not rolled above a 10.
Good thing for good mod. It sucks that when you're at the level that things like a 17 are barely a good roll. At level 1, that's a hype roll. You roll a 17 at level 1.
It's like, let's go!
Let's fucking go, fam! Roll a 21, it's like heavenly.
It's like, oh!
Nowadays, that's a passive perception.
It's the fairy tale.
So, back in character, you guys are... Alright, so you've released Lucy from the thing. I'm going to... You know, we'll say she just gets away with it. She just hides on your person. She's small enough to have gotten away with that. And he did not see. Oh, wait, that's a 17 plus... Shit! Wait, what's his modifier? Is it a +6? He matches. Wait, yeah, he matches. 5s and 6s look like the same with the small font that I have for them. But yes, you'll have matched, so he'll... Ah, an iron flask. Those are very handy for sealing creatures.
He holds out Lucy in his hand.
Yes, yes. Very safe and cozy spot for a Rubian mouse.
Yeah.
It does look...
He just immediately starts ignoring Leomore. He's got more important things to do.
It does look tasty.
No!
Cassie's immediately pure this is above game, by the way. He's not actually doing this.
Oh, okay.
Just above game. You what, mate?
You what, mate?
Please welcome the master. Hello. And now Cassius. I can show his new and improved art. I didn't give him background color or shading because no time to, but yay.
Yo.
Person, oh boy. I hate the wrists.
I hate the hands. But he waves in a sense that his fingers wriggle, like individually.
Yeah.
Love that diva belt, though.
I will say I love the texture work on the actual like mantle.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I meant to color the staff. I just realized I didn't color that. It's supposed to be a lot of like black metals and stuff with a gem being like a dark blue in it. But I've described that, so fair enough of that. And that's what I was doing just a moment ago. When I was silent, I was going to make his token because I realized I didn't. I'm like, no, I'm getting mileage out of this art.
Absolutely.
I love how his fur turned out. That was my favorite part. I struggled.
It's good.
Thank you. And so he steps out. He's like, welcome back. So tell me, did it go well? You're alive.
Surprisingly. Just Arudim flat out, surprisingly, yes.
Was that in... Is this an Infernal, by the way, or is it common?
It's in common.
Crantor tuned in.
Idea.
Crantor's ears. Whoop.
I know what's happening.
I'm part of this conversation.
Right? They want me to be involved. I'm so happy.
So, where's the payment?
Arudim just takes a step aside, gestures to Crantor.
Who steps aside and up the opposite way and gestures to Cassius, who's holding the actual helmet.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, I got this.
Yes! I wanted this to be a group thing. Where we just gesture to Crantor, Crantor gestures to Naleek gestures to Cassius.
Absolutely.
Kosil
Cassius just kind of turns and looks at him, blank expression on his face. Oh, you mean that? It points to it.
Mm.
Yes.
He sets it on the table. Where's the child, mate?
Oh, yes. They're on their way.
No. That's not how we're gonna do this, mate. Contract said you'd give us the child.
Yes.
You would give us the child.
I never provided a timestamp.
Is that how this is gonna be?
It's not how this is going to be. I can't make the child appear out of thin air.
Well, then
it took time to get the child the first time. It's going to take time again. I have to kidnap a child back from another government. Do you think that's going to take an overnight process? No. So, take it or leave it.
Well, then I guess we're just gonna have to get cozy with one another, isn't it?
Oh, I do have some guest rooms, if you would like to stay the night. He smiles.
Okay, out of character. Yeah, fuck that. No. With the meteors. Dude, this is so sketchy. Feels like I'm in a pimp's hotel. No.
It's a love hotel, thank you very much.
No. I
needed these laughs.
Cassius is making a point to stand between Kosil and the money.
Oh, god damn it. No.
I see, this is...
There's Arudim just holding the bridge of his nose, just like, god damn it, Cassius. Or Cassius.
This is going to have to get ugly.
Oh, no. I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that.
No, I didn't.
Good.
Cozy. You know, friendly terms.
We most certainly will. You have my word in blood. The child will be yours soon as I retrieve them. But that money is spent, and it has places to be. And you are not the one who decides how long it takes to get there. The smile fades.
And Cassius gets bigger. But I thought you was wealthy, mate.
Oh, I indeed am.
But if this money's spent already, you didn't even have it. Believe me, I come from a lot of poor places, mate. And I know a debt when I see one. And it would be really bad if I found out who that debt was to, wouldn't it?
I suggest you move aside. And I'm going to need you to roll...
Is he casting suggestion?
Yep, that's why I dropped... Oh, it did not drop in chat?
He said suggest and immediately...
Oh, that was in GM. Dang it. Yeah, I literally clicked suggestion as he said the word. I suggest...
Is that a charisma saving throw?
That is a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Jeez.
Well, Ring of Protection do me wonders.
Oh, that's right. +1 to saving throws.
Oh, yeah.
Is it not already in your character sheet? If not, I'm going to go put that. Oh, it is. Okay.
It is. I'm just saying this for luck.
Cassius with the Ring of Protection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, fuck, you can just do that 3 times a day? Jesus.
Without a spell slot.
Oh, yeah, because that's what it says. Ew, gross.
Above game. Help!
I can't, dude. Bro, we're not attacking this fucker unless we are.
No.
I don't know.
The tension is rising.
Arudim would like to raise a hand for a moment.
As he steps forward and picks up the bag of money. Yes.
Yeah, he lets him. Just as a formal question, do you know... can you see invisible things?
Why do you ask?
Well, I couldn't help but hear somebody rather noisy following us on our way to your office. They were most certainly invisible. I just wanted to see if you had an employee who was snooping around or if that was something else.
Kiyo, look for any intruders. And the Canoloth runs, sprints right in between you guys, jumps sprints right past Crantor and starts looking around.
Just as a precaution.
Absolutely.
I thought I'd let you know. And I understand what it's like to have a debt, so don't worry. Whatever this transaction is that you have between someone, or whatever my friend assumed, it's water under the bridge. I apologize for him. He's very eager. Hot-blooded, if you will.
It seems he is not quite aware of just how many currencies there are in the multiverse, let alone in the Nine Hells. They exchange coin just as you common folk do, but these coins, ever important to the blood. And
did he flinch at all when he picked up the coins?
No, with complete ease, he picked them up.
Oh man, that's... Alright, so... Interesting. He's probably immune to fear. Interesting. Arudim, respectfully, he just twirls his knife in his hand as a bit of a fidget. Not a threat at all in any way. It's clearly a fidget. As he says, now, about the child, I understand it takes time to do what you've promised us to do. In the meantime, I suppose we will take you up on your offer of staying, unless you have a problem with that. And he looks to Naleek and Crantor. Do either of you have a problem with that?
Crantor just shoots you a look,
Naleek is glaring you daggers.
I see. We'll stay nearby, if that's all right with you, but I very much appreciate your hospitality, sir.
Completely understood. I'll have my men seek you out when the child is acquired.
Thank you.
How long will that take?
If you could provide a rough estimate, perhaps, it would certainly ease my friends.
I don't know, are any of you familiar with Miazad's security? I would like everyone to roll me a history check. Arudim, you with advantage.
Oh, no.
I'm assuming that my running in criminal underworlds wouldn't give me advantage on this one.
Oh,
yeah,
buddy.
sure. Yes.
2 D20s is nice. Oh, yes. History. That's a...
Team.
Fuck, here we go again.
Oh, wow, Crantor.
Somehow.
That's a 20 history. That was a 19 on the die, baby.
Alright, all of you know that Miazad is the capital of Radazard, which is a country in Rieba, specifically Arudim, your home country. Miazad is led by King Reducio, who has ruled over Radazard since the beginning of Rieba itself, nearly 6,000 years ago.
Do I know what race the king is?
No, he looks like a human, but he has pure red eyes. Very friendly, but pure red eyes.
That's not an off-put at all! When he says that, Artem just goes, shit, I've broken in there once or twice.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's really interesting.
I have. I wasn't successful in retrieving very much, but I did make a pretty penny selling some information. I was young, arrogant, stupid, and lost. But I did do it.
Wait. So, you're telling me that those who hired you to steal the child of an Archmage in Morben are the higher-ups in another... This is all political bullshit. Now he says, like, his extreme frustration, I can't get away from political bullshit.
Oh, wait. Okay, so... I get it now. The king from my country wanted to hurt this Archmage for some form or another.
No, it makes perfect sense. Morben is a country that has been torn by wars all throughout Reba's history, including with Radazard. This was just another political tactic. Radazard is
No. Why would he specifically go after the child of an Archmage, though?
We know that Fellhandle is higher up in Dargan, which is the capital of Morben.
I see. So he hired you to kidnap the child.
Knowing that I had a grudge with him, yes. As a way of leading him in a different trail.
Truly a very strategic move. Bravo on his part, that sneaky, conniving bastard. And the Archmage hired us because, well, look at our repertoire. He just smiles and looks at everybody else. I mean, like, look at us. Great.
Crantor flexes.
I imagine he just hits us with a double bicep.
Just his collar.
He doesn't even try to flex, he just like shifts slightly and then just everything just bulges out.
Yeah, literally just the...
But yes.
Artem just thinks for a moment. You know, it was on my bucket list to assassinate him, just to say that I did. That might be a fun field trip someday. Actually, question, how much did he pay you? I'm curious. A lot, I assume? Like a big sum? Like big as this room big?
I suppose in quantity, no. But a payment you couldn't possibly comprehend.
I am a seeker of knowledge, my friend. I'm quite curious.
And Crantor can't understand most capitalism and currency, so...
But you know this is some political bullshit.
Damn right.
What could a king of a country centuries old give to someone so powerful and rich? Perhaps a speck of land that is hollowed for you, a portal in and out.
He turns over to you with his beady blue eyes, and he says, leverage, with a shit-eating grin on his face.
Leverage on him?
Leverage on those higher than me.
Ah. Now, you, and he just points to him, I think we are really going to get along if we do business. That is a succulent prize I've been hired to achieve many times.
This is why this shames me that you all don't wish to stay. Very cozy guest rooms, and I would like to talk with you on some of my off time, which happens to be this evening.
I will gladly have conversation. I have a tribe that I deeply care for.
Do you? What are they called?
I formed it myself, and I have taught them everything that I can about keeping control, composure, and doing business. We're known as the Storm's Eye.
What a magnificent name. Surely, you're a great leader, he says, sounding very sinister.
Arudim kind of gives him a glare. He looks at him with a look of not really like anger, but more just straight up confidence and determination. And he says, I'm the best there is.
And when you say that, Crantor will shoot you a look, but won't say anything.
You all are a most impressive bunch, I must say. You really would be good hands around here. So yes, if you would like, I'll have Liamore escort you all to your quarters, and Arudim, was it? We will have a word later on this evening.
Fair enough, I'll have my comrades here. If you don't mind, Liamore, could you escort us to the door? They would like to camp. And so would I.
Naleek looks over. He kind of like smacks you on the chest. Arudim, almost like you're like, what are you talking about? Actually, he's casting tongues on you, and he starts speaking to you in Celestial. He's like, on second thought, I'm starting to think that it might be to our advantage to stay in here after all.
Are you sure? He repeats back.
Crantor will agree.
Am I speaking Celestial right now? He just
No, you're speaking out in common, and Naleek could... 1 sec, I'm going to roll a sleight of hand for Naleek. That's a flat 11. Yeah, no, it was... This time, it is a little more obvious where he kind of just reached over and smacked you in the chest, Cassius, as he said, are you sure? And then, no, he's like, it might be to our advantage to stay.
I see. Well, I'm quite excited then.
Oh, are you?
I am. You've boasted about these guest rooms twice in our conversation. We'll be staying.
That is most wondrous.
It is. Now then, I'm actually quite curious. I've very seldom journeyed to other planes. Those coins, are they forged from real souls?
Absolutely.
Now what is the value of them other than saying that they're made of souls? Are they used to power something? Can they be consumed?
Yes, in fact, they are used mainly to power infernal war machines, which are heavily used in the Blood War to hold back humankind. And currently, there is a severe lack of said war machines. So naturally, this is where I come in, having taken out the former leader of Fort Knucklebone, she whom provided aid to those in need of it regarding their war machines. Madam Maggie, I believe it was. A hag had no business in the Nine Hells anyways.
Hags, nasty things.
Especially blood hags. But yes, I'll see you all. And the door closes.
Liamore, my friend, he says in Infernal. You have been absolutely a treat. Would you mind showing me and my friends to our guest quarters?
Precisely. He teleports onto the opposite side of you, Crantor.
Oh, and do let me know if that hound finds anything.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'd be quite curious to see who was snooping around.
As would I. Who dare? Honestly, I'm wondering how they would have even gotten in here. The fact that Kosil even took the precaution tells me he may be concerned too. Because he would be...
Which is quite fascinating. Tell me, besides you, does he actually have guards of your kind as well? I would assume something like this would be extremely fortified.
Aside from myself, the Canoloths and the Mesoloths are the only other Yugoloths in his employ. The rest are mainly devils and other creatures, but it looks as if they have not found anything. Mutts! And they kind of look up as their tongues kind of like whip around because their heads whip so hard. And just on the ground. I would like you to refocus your attention to the teleportation room. You all didn't go down there yet. And immediately, as soon as his tone...
They're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Just, could be hiding in there. But yes, to your guest rooms. Ah, yes. First things first, I would like to show you all This will be the bathroom if any of you all care to bathe, although it does not seem like it can fit everyone at once, he says with a sneer.
Arudim again just has this cheeky smile, like, this guy gets my jokes. He gets it. He gets my humor.
Now opening up, and we're like, this is the storage room. I assume it can be used for larger creatures to sleep. Yes?
Advy?
Yeah?
The map.
The map? Oh my gosh. Thank you. Wow.
Oh, good call.
Wow, we've been off this whole time. Oof, big oof. Oh my gosh.
That's a big woof.
I would like to... Yes, so... Just a moment, I'm just going to use Crantor's token as a display for the halls.
Quickly,
Crantor! Do it.
Just bloop.
Crantor, gallivant, you sexy thing!
This was the path that they had taken.
And this was the office. Welcome to my office.
Oh, I can do it on this map, that's right. Cool, I gave them TRG command over you guys' stuff. You notice...
And there's the latrine.
Alrighty. And lastly, behold, our cozy guest room.
A cozy guest
No, he waited and went, cozy guest room. Because it's a room inside a room.
Huh. How about that? And
you notice
inside.
there's no extra flavor to it. It looks exactly like this. This is the cozy, comfortable guest room he was talking about.
To be fair, for hell, it's fine. This is literally hell.
Naleek's like,
this is pretty good.
The fuck is this?
It's a 3-star Airbnb, alright?
Cassius will immediately say, alright, don't want to hear no arguments. Naleek gets to bed.
What? No.
Arudim
Okay.
looks to Naleek like, you better take it, dude.
And he's like, okay.
I would, but I'm like, if I were a normal person.
Also, hey, Crantor, do me a favor. You might want to go tuck your boy in.
What the fuck?
Crantor will blush.
Oh my gosh,
you
guys are really going for the ship.
Cassius will turn and look at Arudim.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see pure seriousness on his face. You and me, mate. Mind if we have a talk?
Of course.
I'll leave you all to your devices, and he blinks out. Oh, those are thumps on the ground.
That's the sound of him landing where he blinked out.
That's the sound of... Yeah, it honestly probably was. His big old arm just... into the ground.
Cassius will lead Arudim over here.
Okay.
With his left hand, he'll hold out his hand. Just empty.
Arudim looks at his own hand and he lets his guard down genuinely, and he reaches out and takes yours and a eyebrow raise, like, oh, is this what we're doing? Okay.
The moment you do, you are completely shrouded in darkness. He casts the darkness spell. Cassius grips tight to your hand.
Uh-huh.
Listen, mate. I know you know at least enough about me to know one thing. If you work for that mine, you know I'm gonna have to kill you. And I really don't want to have to kill you, mate.
Arudim in Infernal is going to not grip back, but he's going to lean in to where he believes your head is. And he's going to say, I'm a pretty convincing liar, don't you think?
You'll feel his packed weapon tapping at your thigh. He wants to let you know he can see you perfectly clean. Yeah, you can be. But prove to me that's what that was.
Of course.
But over time.
If you want, I could try to pull the flask maneuver tonight. I doubt it would work, but...
No, I'm saving that one for the girl. I'm thinking it
Fair
might be
enough.
best.
That reminds me. Cassius?
Yes, mate?
Could you do me a favor and remind me? Naleek specified he is quite good in the natural arts, did he not?
Give or take. I'm sure if it's not for his natural arts, his divine ones.
Allow me to tell you a story of when I was younger. I pursued many things, and one of those things that I still pursue to this day is a way to at least remember things when I die and I come back. If I can't stop reincarnating, I at least want to remember the things I've come to love. So, in that struggle, in that search, I found something. A very rare form of magic, a spell, that does exactly what I do. It reincarnates something that has passed on, and the body doesn't need to be very fresh at all. That power is only blessed those who worship and study the natural ways of this world, the material plane itself. I believe Naleek might be able to bring back our guide using this, and Arudim holds up some of the leftover bits he saved.
And if anyone were to walk in and see that, they would just still see just the inky cloud of darkness.
Yeah. It creates a new body, and it puts their soul, as long as they're willing and able, into the new body. Sure, it would be a completely random body, but he'd keep all of his memories, he'd keep everything he knew in life, and he'd be able to walk along the living again. He got dealt a shitty hand. I wasn't on my top priority, and honestly, I feel responsible for his death. I wasn't myself.
You can say that again, too. I wasn't either. I didn't have told nobody this, but when we were there, I was overcome with a fury I've only felt once before.
I noticed. I hate to insult you, but you were a bit sloppy.
There's something about demons. Probably has to do with the blood war and... Well, he reaches up and taps his horns and then remembers, oh right, you can't see that.
I hear just a tink, and he's like, what are you tapping?
The horns, mate. I forgot.
Ah,
you can't see. And
you're referencing your Zariel blood.
Yes.
You think it triggered some sort of reaction in you, then?
Definitely felt that way. Because I
Well,
felt
then.
rage like that before, but I had a reason for that one.
Well, if anything, I'll try to keep an eye on you if we happen across demons again.
If we do and you see me fly off the handle, mate, I give you my permission to knock my ass out.
I'll try. You're quite strong.
Yeah.
Well,
Who am I but a humble half-orc to a progeny of Zariel?
well, you have the aid of two divine beings with you.
That's very true. Crantor would promptly knock your ass out.
See? There you go.
Fair enough.
But you had me
I
concerned
feel
there,
like we
mate.
should mention this to Naleek.
We should. But after
If
all,
we can
did put him
guide
to bed.
back and possibly recruit him into our efforts. He got dealt a shitty hand in life. I mean, can you believe what that Archmage did, honestly?
Well, Archmage was... He was human, right?
He didn't even acknowledge him as a son. He didn't introduce him as such. He just said, here, take this guide. Thought he was just somebody random he hired. Not his fucking
not
adopted son.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Yes, I was born... Both my siblings were human. And I remember my sister telling me families would often look at me as a baby, with my sister holding me, and wondering what the hell. And I could see why the Archmage would, if he is some manner of political figure, as the kitty cat has led us to believe.
If he's a legitimate son, then yes, that could raise some political issues. But if you are
Yes.
adopted, I see no reason why that would be a political issue. If anything, it should be a boon.
You'd be surprised how petty nobles can be, mate.
Petty nobles, these children, they're children. They deserve to have better. My apologies. And he adjusts himself. It strikes a core with me, so.
Oh, believe me. He just kind of holds his shirt. Trust me. I don't much like the rich folk either. Not
If
as
I
much as I
could.
hate people like that. And he kind of just points off in the distance.
Like, you know, the boss. The fucker.
People like him.
The reverse wanker.
Yes. Which, by the way, we should probably go get Crantor. There's something I want y'all to know.
While you get Crantor, I'll mention the reincarnation technique to Naleek and see if he might know it. If he's been to Celestia, he might have picked it up. And Ardim's gonna knock on the door.
Cassius just walks in.
Oh, fucker.
Yeah, no, I want to go back a
Meanwhile-
few minutes. And Crantor, when you came in, you literally just saw Naleek just kind of like kicking his legs up on the bed, and he's just like, "What are you doing?" As soon as he sees you come,
Shit.
no, it's not.
They needed a minute alone, so came here instead.
Oh, and he peeks over his eyebrows up. Huh? You know what? I see it.
Yes.
And he's like,
No! We're
and,
both doing
Reverse
it to each other! No!
and he's like, But I really don't like the idea of sleeping on this plane another night. Part of me just wants to say, can't we just contact the Archmage, let him know what the situation is, just have his child delivered to him when he's done. We signed a contract, we can show him the contract. I don't want to be here anymore. He starts chuckling.
I don't blame you, but it doesn't seem right to leave the job unfinished. And I doubt the others would go with that.
No, you're right, and that's not the most noble thing. Anyways.
It is a child in danger here.
You know, part of me wishes we knew the whole Biazad thing before we signed that contract. If we did, we could have used that as leverage. We could have mentioned that to the Archmage. Maybe that would have been enough. I hate to look at it from such a cynical perspective, but I think we'd be better off to just be done with this job and move on with our lives.
I don't disagree.
Maybe it's just my feelings about the Hells. I don't know.
I mean, Lord knows this is no Celestia, and I would give nothing other than to be back with my people, but...
This is the literal opposite of Celestia.
Exactly.
In the way that Celestia is a mountain, this place is a reverse mountain. It's like, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to take some precautions while we rest, because the last thing I want to do is jammed in this room if something goes down.
No, and I plan on going with Arudim to this dinner. I don't think he should go alone.
That's a smart move. I'd go, but I'm too...
You need rest.
No, I don't.
He'll just cut him off. You need rest.
No.
You need rest.
It's just armor.
My child needs rest.
Cassius just standing in front of the door. I was told not to let you leave, mate.
Oh, you just come
Howdy.
in? Yeah, you guys. At this point, you guys are coming in. And...
So,
Also,
I've
this
got
is Celestial.
great news.
Yes. That conversation was in Celestial, because that is something that we specified previously. They have their one-on-one conversations in Celestial, if
They
nothing
do.
else, just so they can feel included.
Yeah, Arudim and I have Infernal.
Yeah, just like, no, we get to be
We're split
buddy-buddy
half
with
and half.
special
It's
secret
perfect.
language.
We get our own code.
This is great.
Actually, technically speaking, Arudim would have understood that conversation if he listened in, because
Yeah.
he's still affected by tongues.
We both are, aren't we?
Oh, that lasts an hour.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right. Oh my god, that's right.
Damn it. We can't
So
have
I
anything
would have
for
been able to
ourselves.
hear this conversation and understand.
Roll perception. You know what? Fuck it. Cassius, roll a perception. Never mind. No, Arudim, you're also rolling a perception check because you're trying. Passive perception.
Oh,
is
hell
not.
yeah. Bitch. Hell yeah.
I mean,
Perception?
no worries. Your rogue
Perception?
ability says it's going to be at least a 21, but still.
27.
Funny you say that it's at least a 21, because I just rolled a 19 on the die, which with my +3.
Yeah, you guys heard it on their super secret conversation, completely forgetting about the spell. You guys walked in and they're like, heh, secrecy. And you're like,
Can
no.
read that on their
Can't
faces.
have anything nice.
I could just picture it. They're talking in Celestial, and Cassius goes, "No, I'm with Crantor on this one. Somebody should go with him. I'll stay back with you."
What the
Hey,
fuck?
untrustworthy.
No, he is angry. She's like, what the fuck?
Crantor takes it in stride. He's just like, yeah, he's right.
So intrusive.
You do need rest, my friend.
Yes, you do.
And you need backup, he says to Arudim.
Arudim looks offended, very sarcastically. Me, the scrawny one of the group, needing backup? No. He just leans up against the wall. Naleek, my friend, my apologies. I have to bother you with something. Something I may have realized upon you casting that spell on me and making me normal again. When I was younger, I searched for a way to keep my memories if I were to die again and reincarnate. I came upon shamans and interesting folk who spoke of an ability that seldom people have. But given your natural and divine connections, I was curious if either you or Crantor have this ability. It is simply referred to as reincarnation, and it can restore a body and create a new body from the remains, any remains, of an old body, as long as the person has not died within about a fortnight, I'd guess. And we lost somebody on my watch, and I feel unbelievably guilty about it, especially with them being the adopted son and having a rough treatment. And he holds up a satchel. This is all that I could salvage of our original guide. I don't know if you have this power, but if either of you did, we could have him back.
He thinks on it for a moment. Oh wow.
Trust me, I've looked upon it and it's powerful. Nothing I could ever do.
It's too divine for my blood, mate.
So I know of the spell, but I've never used it. I can try preparing it in the morning and do our best, but I'm thinking about it right now, and material points. Oh, I don't think I have the material components for it, but
What are the material components?
we need some extremely rare oils.
Oils.
Probably very expensive. I'd really have to meditate on it to get a feel for it. And the spell is
Naleek,
going
if
to
you could do that for me, then I will give you whatever those oils are worth and double to keep for yourself. He died because I was not myself. If I were thinking, I would have grabbed him, and brought him back to the anti-life shield. But I wasn't. I was only thinking of myself.
More so than that, I didn't stay calm in that situation. I feel partially responsible because I can move that shell. I didn't know it at the time.
Arudim immediately. You what?
I didn't know this until afterwards. I sat there and re-prepared the spell the next morning, and I just understood. And that's why I didn't...
Arudim just looks like, okay, that's fine. It's fine. We can fix this. We can fix this.
Make no mistake, I was looking into ways to bring him back myself, but I just didn't want to bring much attention to it because that's not the task at hand.
I understand that, yes. After we retrieve the child, we don't want him here in Avernus. We do not want him here in Avernus, first of all. Because our Mr. Kitty Cat was very pleased to find out he's dead. So let's just keep that between us.
That's right.
And we'll bring him back once we come back to the material plane and explain everything. We have both the scrolls of sending still, right?
You guys start hearing thuds and flapping. This is what I... Somebody blasted!
Slowly...
Somebody blasted! Leomore has this creature grappled. I will... Arudim,
Don't
from
mind me,
your
boys. I'm
perspective...
just gonna go check out what that was. He opens the door.
Remember... No, the door is already open.
Oh, thank God.
In fact, I flavored that there is... Oh, no, yeah, there would be a door there. That would be fucked up. I did open it. Never mind. I just forgot
yeah, that would
about
be
it.
a little fucked up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, but it still was open from the time. It was just this door that was closed. And you still have a held cunning action.
Oh, cool. Great.
So
I'm
obviously...
not
Our
gonna
Discord
use
kicks
it.
me off doing the same thing.
So you disengage from Cassius's range to move forward and fire
After
your
all,
bolts.
I did put him in a threatened space.
You did!
You know what? You did. You know what? Fuck it. I want to interrogate him, but fuck it. Let's roll the hit. 21?
Oh, that heat!
Cool.
Good.
Hey, buddy. The minute he walks into the room with it, I just blast it with crotchy.
Wait, Leomore or the Abishai?
The Abishai.
Okay, I was like, holy shit! This turned around.
So that's gonna be...
It was with advantage, I should have mentioned, because he's grappled, but it already hit, so it don't matter.
21 points of... I'm sorry, 31 points. Yeah, 31 points of necrotic energy damage.
No,
See, that's
it's already
my bad.
fucked up. Yeah, it was...
Can I hold back a little bit?
I can say it can be
non-lethal?
subdue damage. I'll say it can be subdue damage. If you don't...
Okay, cool.
necrotic damage, how does that work? Are you just shriveling all of his limbs?
No, you're just reaving its energy out of it instead of all of its life.
I'm making it
It's stamina.
age, basically.
It's like in The Princess Bride, where they just crank out your
no,
life.
not to 50.
Exactly.
Princess Bride, best movie ever. Don't add.
Honestly, you're right.
But
Now,
yes,
Arudim just looks at it, and he walks up to it, grabs it, and immediately thrusts it against the wall.
oh, he's unconscious. He's good job. He's grasped it with his big arm by its throat. So this was the one snooping around.
All right. Oh, boys! And he calls for him.
What the fuck's going on? He like climbs out of bed. Man, I was just actually starting to like
And
that.
I'm gonna grab it by the scruff and hold it up to himself. Look who followed us.
I'll be damned.
Somebody must have sent to see what all the fuss was about. He's unconscious, close to death.
Hey, Advy,
Yes,
I have a question for you.
let's hear it.
So the dynamic lighting is giving me hints of something right back this way?
I think that's the dog.
Yeah, you can see the tongue kind of resting underneath
Okay.
Lemur's feet. You're kind of behind.
I was
Lemur's
going to
feet.
ask if Cassius could roll a perception check to see that.
No need. You can.
It's a heckin' Borko.
It's you can assume that that's what it is based on the tongue.
The
resting
world's
on the
most fucked up dog.
ground.
What do you think we should do, boys?
I'm going to
Crantor
see.
just is like looming with his axe out.
Lemur
like-
pinches it by its wings with his large arm and kind of lifts it up.
Ooh.
I'm going to see what the master wants to do with it. You
Fair
will
enough.
not be forgiven for treading on Kosil's ground.
Oh,
Uninvited.
could you do me a favor? If you manage to get the wings or scales or something, could I have that?
Perhaps.
Dope, put in a good word for me, buddy.
Very well. I shall. And
I KO'd it, man. I went, boom, KO!
Said, fuck that.
I just went,
that.
I'll take your entire stock!
Now he's like, wait, those things can turn invisible? How many were there around us then?
Oh, probably a lot more. Honestly,
Naleek,
I was quite
don't worry
surprised
about
that
it.
there were as little as there were, considering it was the domain of Tiamat.
Think about it this way, Naleek. They were that threatened by us.
They were watching us as well as watching our employer, as he uses air quotes.
Anyone who looks at Cassius will see him literally gritting his teeth when he says that.
I used air quotes, don't worry, I'm sorry. Hush, hush, child.
Contractor is better, but you know.
There we go, contractor. There we go. Our employer is the terrible father.
Associate even.
A shit.
Now
Anyway,
gentlemen, I believe as soon as that's done, Crantor, you wished to accompany me?
Absolutely. I am starving.
It's been a very long time since I've actually enjoyed food.
in the
Or
meantime,
rather, I've
Naleek,
let myself enjoy it.
Crantor will actually hold out his arm gallantly for Arudim to take, and he'll escort him.
There's like a legitimate blush on the half-orc.
Oh my god.
He just goes, oh, a
Giant,
gentleman.
his giant cowman arm.
There's just a look of gay panic. He graciously takes the arm.
And Crantor, in full gentleman way, will not even look at Arudim, will just look straight ahead, deadpan, just rigid armed. We're doing this.
And you guys move on your way out. And just as you guys start to walk out into the hallway, Arudim, you hear footsteps again.
Where?
You heard him right over in this vicinity
Can I just blast? Can I fucking blast?
with
In a
disadvantage.
straight line? Can I just like move here, straight line blast? It goes 30 feet.
It's still going to be with disadvantage. You don't see where you're aiming.
I'm okay with that. Damn it, D20s, why do you drop when I need you? Okay, I dropped one, so I'll just roll the 2. Here. Oh, I got lucky as hell.
Let's see.
That's a 10 and an 11. So that's gonna be a 19 with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
1 second.
I got hella lucky. My dice almost went to something not favorable.
Wow, yeah, that's it. Just as you blast out, you slam into the creature, and out from invisibility, almost as if it wreathed from shadows itself, is a black Abishai lands, starts fleeing. Initiative it is.
Oh,
No, you
nice.
don't, buddy.
Alright, then initiative rolls, folks.
Are you gonna let me take one because I hear the blast?
Oh, everyone's getting an initiative roll. Just for, like, proper sake, because if you're excluded from the initiative roll, then when do you get to do stuff? That would technically be happening concurrently.
Aw, 10.
Oh, you used the D... I'm surprised. You used
The
roll
only
20.
reason I did is because I wanted to see the color of shade of green that the dice is. And it's pretty good. Pretty Arudim on point a little bit.
Yeah, you varied greens before. The lime green wasn't working for me. I like the dark green, but this is perfect.
Yeah.
I like
Forgot
it.
to switch from Iridia red.
No worries, I feel like the red still works for Crantor. He's red in spirit, but the gold...
in spirit.
He is pretty bloody and red in spirit, so yes.
Alright, so let me go over to my
Red is the
initiative
color
roll
of
and go all the way back up to the initiative count that wasn't used last session. Oh, that's not
Red
it.
is the color of passion, remember.
And oh man, does Crantor have passion.
Oh, hey, you tied with Naleek, Arudim. Good for you. Oh, man. Things... Oh boy, things happen. As is tradition, we start with Crantor.
Crantor gonna pull his axe right out, holding it horizontally, scraping against the walls, intimidatingly coming at him, going to fuck him up. Moves to here, and then just does a fucking chop.
Ooh, baby.
Up and down.
While you're doing that, Arudim, roll me the damage for your bolts from the grave.
Oh yes, I must do that.
And Crantor, roll
You know what?
me
I'll
an
just
attack.
do it. I'll just do it here. 6d6 plus 5.
Oh no, it's already in your attacks.
23 points of heckin' necrotic damage.
Nice. But yeah, did you know that it's listed in your attacks for quick reference if you just want to...
Oh, can I just like...
Yeah, it
hold
should
on,
be
as
labeled
as
in
a
your...
test. As a test, if I just click the damage, does it just...
Yep.
No, it rolls
Rolls
that
it, and then you
attack
click
and then... I see.
We'll go with the 26 because it's the quote-unquote official way.
Lol.
Alright, so that's 26 damage. Crantor, roll me the attack if you have not yet. Oh,
18 to hit.
You hit. Roll me damage if you would like. As this motherfucker just...
Oh, that's a...
Ironically, gets wreathed out of the shadows by necrosis itself.
This is
The darkness betrays you.
This is my two-handed, by the way. Ooh, that is a 15.
That's
a
pretty
20.
good.
And then, you know what? We're going to expend one and make it a plain strike.
Oh, baby. We're just putting this guy in the dirt.
Yeah. 15 again. So 30. Why not?
As you take this slash, both of its wings come clean off, and you see most of its back ripped open as blood starts spilling from this devilish dragon. This creature looks like he's on the verge of death, reaching forward.
He's going to look back to Arudim, keeping it alive.
Can I tell?
Yeah, you can speak back for your reaction.
We might get a better pay for it, so yeah, go ahead.
All right. Then he
I say
won't do
yes.
his... He won't... You know what? He'll hit to subdue. Hit subdual damage, I guess.
Okay, then you're gonna blunt him with your axe.
Yeah. All right. That's going to be 17 plus 10. So, yeah, 27 to hit.
Yeah, it hits. You bonk on the head, and he goes right to fucking sleep.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Still
Right.
bleeding out, but stable condition as the blood quickly dries. The wound, you can tell, is like this creature obviously heals very well in terms of like lethal damage. Wow. Yeah. Technically that ends.
Go sleep.
That technically ends combat as you guys are still.
French will tie it up before Cassius and Naleek get out there, I guess.
Yeah, I know you guys come out as you.
What happened? It's already over.
Cassius will run out.
Uh,
He'll see it. Go ahead, Advy. You were about to say something.
No, yeah, just as you guys are coming out on the opposite end, Liam Morgan is going to come out from his end of the house. What's going on?
Naleek will see Cassius kind of weaving. Wait, does it have somatic components? Or is it just verbal? Nope, just verbal. You'll see him take a deep breath like he was about to shout something, and he just bites his tongue.
Just
not gonna deafen you guys.
Yes, y'all see. What's going on here?
found another.
Clearly. He's kind of got his hand on his chin, like almost confused with the situation. Very well, we have another. And he's going to grab it by the back of its neck and just kind of drag it up through the hall as he continues. I'm terribly sorry, Ace Intruded. Did this creature attack you?
I heard it, and I vaporized it.
Nice. I see.
And I finished the job.
Yes, you did, oh mighty Gallataur.
Accidental flexing.
Arudim fans himself a little bit.
And yeah, he drags his creature. And you're all left to your devices at the moment. That was a nice little 3-minute combat. That was funny. Honestly, everyone rolling so well is what made it happen.
Above game, Cassius was going to use thaumaturgy and call for Leomore. Seeing
Just
Leomore, he's
already
like,
there.
Yeah, he's a...
Never mind, no need to
I don't want to blow out everyone's eardrums in this tight corridor.
Yeah. For a second, I thought you were saying that meta-wise. I was like, oh, I can appreciate that. No, you're saying from the character's actual perspective.
No, he took a deep breath like he was about to shout it, then just immediately bit it back like, I don't need to render these boys deaf right before a big meeting.
What'd you say? What?
All right.
The filet mignon is fantastic.
So what just happened?
What?
The flaming balls are what?
To answer that question, Naleek, it seems like these little... Would the term doggos be a bit appropriate, or would it seem a bit too good?
No,
I would say
stupid
too
form.
good. If there's this many intruders and those things aren't picking up on them before they're making a threat, then I wouldn't say they're very efficient. But they could just be pets.
I say we stick to the original plan. If we're gonna split up, we should split up in groups of 2.
Very well.
I'm tapped for the day, for the most part. I mean, I still got me blade, of course, but my powers are all but dried up.
No, Cassius, I think it's best we stick it out, leave it to them. I trust Crantor.
Crantor just nods and grunts.
Not to
Arudim just rolls
Cut
his
Arudim
eyes. I'll
short.
try not to be offended.
use not to cut Arudim short, like you just cut me short.
No, yeah, no, that's fine.
It's a
Do
pair
me a
of tri-
favor, Arden.
Look, Cassius, it's the Tribe Leaders Club. Just let them be.
It's the Tribe Leaders Club.
Which reminds me, we really should speak about opening up trade between our 2 tribes, Arudim.
Actually, that's not a bad idea at all.
I think that's a great idea personally. You guys both lead very prominent tribes in your respective countries, which are 2 of the biggest countries on the plane. Could really make for some, like, international trade. Like nature, right?
Crantor just softly
Immediately
chuckles at
ruining
you.
it.
Arudim pity. He okay, you know what? I'm gonna roll a deception check for him to try to pity laugh. He doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but he also doesn't want to hurt his feelings more by, revealing it's a pity laugh. That's gonna be a 22 deception.
I like how you're already ready. 22 deception. Good on you. He only got a 12 insight. He was like, yes. He's like, you know what?
Nailed it.
I should be a comedian.
God damn it, no, buddy, please don't do that.
I got a post-adventuring
He can
career
only
in
get
the
better.
wings.
You can only get better at being bad.
Put all the other comedians out of business. No, don't do that.
Oh, you know what? You're right. That's not the market I'm passionate about. I should not undermine them like that.
Yes, exactly.
Crantor just gives you a knowing look.
Yeah.
Shall we?
We
up.
shall.
Enjoy your
Hold up there,
gallivanting.
Crantor. I want you to do me a favor.
Me?
Arden.
Yes.
Favorite choice of weapon.
He holds up a dagger.
Cassius holds out his hand. You mind for a second?
Don't mind. Oh,
You'll see him hold it up, kind of weigh it in his hand. Holds out his right hand, and in it will appear an exact mirror duplicate. His pack
Ooh.
weapon.
Ooh.
He'll flip it and hand both back to you. Keep that on you at all times. If I need it, I can always call it back to me.
very well.
I feel that, a certain old lady might need to be privy to what goes on.
I see. Well, I'm sorry, he says to the weapon.
And while they're doing that, Crantor's going to go over to Naleek, and he's going to quietly whisper, "Can you cast what you did for them on me?"
Yes.
So he
got
can
it,
speak
buddy.
Infernal.
That's on my level
He
3
can-
spell slots, but it's most definitely worth it.
I don't want to go in there not knowing what's being said.
Oh no, that's precisely the case. But you obviously should lead on like you are.
We're going to get through this. He kind of puts his hand on his shoulder.
Make no
Just like-
mistake, I want it to be portrayed that you're there as a security measure. There should be transparency about that. Otherwise, I feel like anything other than that would be suspicious.
Crantor, just be yourself, mate. You'll do fine.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Crantor knows what's going on with this.
Arudim,
Mm-hmm.
here's how the packed weapon works.
Mm-hmm.
Because of particular abilities, it is a +1 weapon that is magical in nature. It can use either... It has all the properties of a normal dagger, except that it can also use your charisma stat if you would prefer to use that.
Would not.
It's just out there. Now, whether or not Advy rules that because it's my packed weapon, you could use my charisma stat, I'll let him decide.
Well, I'll have to look into the logistics of it, but I wouldn't look
Yeah.
forward to it. That doesn't sound like a 5e thing.
For right now, we can just say you are currently holding a +1 dagger that can deal magical damage.
Yeah.
Dope. I'll take that. I'll take that any day.
And don't worry, if we need it after about an hour of rest, well, I've got other ways of arming myself.
Well, alright then. If
Oi,
you
Naleek.
insist.
Yeah. Yes.
Mind if we have words? We've got a few things that I should discuss with you.
Absolutely. Perfect time. You two will go on up the hall, and while you're doing that, Naleek will kind of just like say hi. So the floor is yours, bud.
Well, first off, I'll need to take a bit of a rest. This thing, regardless of what it is, Cassius is going to sit on it.
Okay.
He'll kind of reach into wherever Lucy is and pull her out. She's not looking so good, mate.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
pulled her out of the flask.
No, she wasn't looking so good when I put her in there. And honestly, if it means putting the child in the flask, that flask might be the safest place for the child, given our current locale, if you follow my meaning.
If only I had banishment prepared, I could just banish her to Rieba.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit concerned about my little girl here.
I don't even have create and destroy water. We could give her a good berry. We could try and.
Well, I put her in the flask immediately after feeding her the last one, so I think she'd still be under the effects of that.
You're right.
Temporal stasis.
Water's only going to be so much.
Just, if she does pass, I understand you are also a druid. If you could at least help me lay her to rest, I would appreciate that.
Absolutely.
There's also one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. I know how you kind of feel about devils and all that. When Kosil kind of threatened Zariel, I couldn't help but take it a bit personally. You probably noticed that.
I happen to,
Zariel.
yeah.
Zariel saved my life, mate. I'd be dead if not for her.
Did she really?
Well, I was lying bleeding in an alleyway, and not to put it bluntly, it was either I accept what she was offering, or I die then and there.
That sounds about right.
And don't get me wrong, I don't exactly regret my choice, but I just want you to know, despite my affiliations, I bear you no ill will. And I just want you to know one other thing. Such time may come that I am called to a side to act as a champion. She saved my life. I owe a debt. As Crantor's ally, you understand what it means to owe a life debt to somebody.
I do. And look, I can't exactly disprove of your ties. Crantor, before traveling with me, was traveling with a demigod. A demigod who was very erratic, and honestly, the worst things you could want in somebody with that level of power. So, I know that at the very least, there's a real gray area when it comes to who you keep company with, if that makes sense.
It does. But as a warrior, I've always known that Zariel has always given me, she's always been honest with me. I may not have always known her name, up until just recently, in fact, but my powers have always come from a place of honesty. And aside from Avernus, whether it was her or Avernus, I don't really know which, but it's always been a respectful thing. So
I get where you're coming from, I really do. And quite frankly, I'm in a position in life where I'm not too certain where my allegiances lie. In terms of who I worship, where my magic comes from. Yeah, I grew up worshipping Bahamut, but I was more so raised into that by my father, who made it seem as if not for Bahamut we'd have nothing. And what really made me call into question that faith is in recent years how volatile and how unhinged some of the military, specifically the religious sects of the military in Mindafal, have become, and they, quite frankly, resembled Tiamat's teachings more than Bahamut's, and so it made me question who it was I really was believing in, and at that time is when I got sucked up into Crantor's business, and before I know it, I was walking the path of Heracles, and in the process I truly found a love for nature that I never got a chance to have because my father wouldn't let me.
yeah, I can understand that. Well, just know, even though, let's call them familial affiliations, at least in my case, though they may differ, as long as we are on this mission together, we are allies.
But, on the other hand, I'm I'm always going to fight for the greater good. So if for some reason your favor to Zariel so happens to go against that greater good, we might find ourselves on the opposite sides of the battlefields. And
something tells me that that's not going to happen at least anytime soon in my lifetime.
I would hope not, but who knows what Zariel has in plan. The fact of the matter is, she didn't save you for nothing. She didn't do it out of the goodness of her heart. She may be a fallen angel, but she's just that, a fallen angel. And it seems like she's one that is not pleasing the masses of Avernus. If you haven't picked up yet, she seems to be resented by quite a few. Tozad, the guide, whom served underneath someone in one of her legions. Like, even her own soldiers aren't holding a great faithfulness to her. And maybe that's just devils being devils, but I'd like to think that it's a little more complex than that, because no creature anywhere has that one-dimensional line of thinking. There's always layers to a thought process, and each individual, no matter how little they matter to your personal grand scheme of things, and I don't say that to you as if you dismiss those things individually. I say you in a general sense when I make that statement. Each of these devils that we've come across, those Arianists, the Bone Devil, hell, even the demons, they all have personalities, individuality. They all have their own line of thinking, and that's what I was trying to look into in all of that. So Jezgon, Tozad, what were their true motives? Where did they really lie? For example, Tozad helped you as a personal favor. That could have been the favor from Jezgon, and he could have been on our way. We would have been out of a guide. But that was Tozad's personal favor, and you know what? I really feel like it was a missed opportunity not asking him about that in hindsight.
Yeah.
We could have learned more about what this overarching resentment for Zariel is.
If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's never to look back and wonder what could have been. That would have eaten me alive a long time ago. So, while it is true I do understand what you mean, we have to look at what we've got now. And the truth of the matter is, Zariel has not stopped us. And I can tell because I've been testing this. I noticed it first with Arudim, when he called her out. She's listening, and just earlier today, I communed with her for the first time, truly. She is listening, and she has not stopped us. Knowing your celestial affiliation as I do, I can understand that she, too, would know of that. Something tells me you're not wrong. She's got a greater plan, but I'm willing to hear it out first. But know this, I ally myself with her of my own volition. I will not be twisted into it. After all, I do have a warrior's pride.
That's what I like to hear.
But anyway,
Man.
we both need to get some rest. I'll watch your back, mate. I only need about an hour or so, and then I'm up to speed. You get some rest.
You know, Cassius,
I always have an important meeting.
I really gotta say, you remind me of Carrick. Maybe that's why I take such liking to you, despite all signs of my heritage pointing the opposite direction. I don't know, you seem like a real trustworthy guy.
Yeah, that's that old dwarf lady beating the shit out of me when I was a little kid.
And at this point, you guys are just kind of shooting mild shit as we cut over to the more tense, everlasting walk from Arudim and Crantor. I would like you guys to keep up your own tokens going through this hall as you walk it. Lord drop!
Lord drop!
You are not on his back, stop it.
What do
I
you
mean, if
mean?
you ask nicely.
Whoa, that's a
Whoa.
hefty tune changed from earlier in the day.
Oh my.
In the interest of diplomacy, after all.
Oh.
But yes, do feel free to move when you guys move. As I follow you guys with the camera. Do you just walk in
Wait,
silence, or
Where are we moving? Where are we dropping balls?
Sorry, I had to step away from it. Kobold, can you keep me up with that, too?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, well, there you go. I was slower. You guys just kind of skip through, and you eventually meet Liam Moore in the main hall, where the Canoloths are continuously sniffing around. Liam Moore seems a little flustered. He's like, oh,
That there was more.
yeah. Yeah, you notice the demeanor is different. When he brought the first one around and was wrestling it, he seemed very much in control of the situation. He was much more calm, collected. When he came around and saw the black one, he was like, "Oh no!" When he saw the other Abishai, he was like, "What's going on?"
Oh, bully.
Oh, and I love the idea that if he's nervous that a black one was here and how quickly we dispatched that. Ooh, I love the meta on that one.
He's more nervous that he couldn't find it.
You can tell when he's stopping for a moment, it's to like stop and look around.
Yeah. He's nervous.
Liamore moves over. Sir, Master, are you ready for them? Yes, he's ready.
He's ready, is he? Alright.
I'm sorry, wrong layer. Let's see.
We can go in?
Yes.
Ah, awesome. Howdy.
Yes, howdy. Tell me, gentlemen, would you like the door closed? For some privacy, or would you prefer it open for security's sake?
What do you think, Crantor?
You know, a little bit of privacy wouldn't hurt, I believe.
Very well, and Arudim shuts the door.
Well, I did expect this to be a little bit more one-on-one, but at the same time, I completely understand where you're coming from in terms of keeping your company.
Well, not just that. There's more that I could offer you as well. Arudim is not the only one to tribe.
Is this true?
Yes. I lead the tribe of Mythos Plains Gallataur in Mindafal.
Gallataur. Yes, that is what you are. You lead an entire tribe yourself. What are you doing all the way out here, by your lonesome, without your people?
Well, my people exiled me due to deception. Someone in my tribe, when usurped my natural place of leadership. And in so doing, I was exiled and forced to wander. In my wanderings, I have wandered the plains. I've been in the Abyss. I've been in Carcery. I've been in Celestial. And now I'm here. So I am the natural choice to be sought out for these type of things. Arudim, you're going to notice that Crantor has a lot more confidence in himself. He's projecting a lot more of that in this moment.
Okay.
He doesn't usually talk about this kind of things, but...
Right. He's definitely building himself as a reputation there.
Correct.
Got it.
I see. You are quite the figure. I did not realize I was in the company of someone so prestigious.
I don't like to make a big deal out of myself. In fact, I seek less notoriety than I have.
I see.
That is true. That's fair to have.
A humble leader, much like myself.
I prefer being in a position where I'm not so much of a target.
That's an excellent point. He says, almost like you got some cogs churning in his head.
Arudim nods in agreement.
One can be so much more effective from the shadows, don't you agree? Looking at both of you.
That's what I trained my tribe to do.
That remark caught Kosil off guard for a moment, and then he collects himself again.
Still, every bit of soft power needs some hard power. He flexes with his axe to back it up.
Glorious indeed. But I must ask. And so Kosil asks in Infernal, have you considered my offer? Looking directly at you, Arudim.
Arudim sits in the chair, and he ponders for a moment. Now, out of character, I'd like to specify his offer to work for him, correct?
You know what, I'm just going to straight up ask it. Astro, what is Crantor thinking at this very second when Kosil asked that in Infernal and you still understood it?
Crantor, good question. I hadn't thought about that. Crantor, honestly, he wouldn't be focused on Arudim in this moment. He'd just be still reliving everything that he had been going through. Some of the wounds which are still fresh.
That's fair.
Yeah. He would still be...
That's pretty fair.
Remembering everything that he'd been going through and all the pain of wandering alone, and then everything with fucking Cannon. I love Planeswalkers just to take down. I'll say that more about the Cord son, the child of Cord.
Oh shit, you should... Oh, no, there's a different... But yes, back into the scene. Kosil asked you, so, have you considered my offer?
And again, I'd like to specify the offer to work for him.
Yes.
I have considered it, and honestly, I like it. I really do. However, I do need to think of my tribe. If I were not there more often, they might stray from their path. I am humbled by your interest. Unfortunately, I will have to decline, though. I am greatly flattered by your interest, but I have a family to take care of, mostly. I'm not as grand as being able to do work such as this very often. So, with a heavy heart, I must say, I cannot accept your offer for now. Perhaps one day.
I do understand, but what if I made you an offer you couldn't refuse? Crantor, at this point, what's your thought process? Hearing Arudim say everything he said, and then up to this point, I'm gonna need you to keep me up to date with that right now.
Because, Kosil can detect thoughts.
Yeah, surfaceal
Absolutely.
thoughts. So what?
Sorry.
Essentially, the surfaceal thoughts of Crantor, not what he's thinking about deeply. What the most,
Right.
the top thoughts in his head.
The top thoughts, exactly. Crantor would have been surprised that Arudim declined the offer because he wasn't party to the whole discussion that he had with Cassius. He doesn't know that this is a ploy. So he'd been surprised about that. But he understands and also empathizes with the fact that he has a family and a tribe and a duty to them. So he'd now be thinking about his own tribe.
Very well.
Arudim will just cross his leg in the chair and fold his hands together on his stomach and just say, "And what is this offer?"
Bring your tribe riches it would have never known otherwise, but more so than material gain, can provide them spiritual enlightenment.
Crantor's eyebrow will shoot up at that.
What do you mean by this?
Yes, please explain.
Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Oh, and by the way, Crantor, it seems you can understand Inferno.
God damn it.
And the best part
My
is
apologies. My friend simply wished to feel included. We used some magic so that he would understand our conversation. I hope that's perfectly all right.
I appreciate the honesty now that I've attempted to have some privacy with you. But he looks over to Crantor. Nonetheless, I understand your extra precautions, and I hold no ill will towards you for them.
Of
We'll
course.
just nod solemnly.
Now this enlightenment you speak of, what do you mean?
Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. The history of orcs, since the beginning of time, has been one bathed in blood, has been one bathed in a lack of acceptance.
I know that very well.
The inability to learn from this history leaves them to be doomed to repeat it.
As is the origin of my birth.
There are ways to educate those on things in which they cannot understand through words. I wish I could share more with you in detail, but that's not my business to divulge. But I do know this much, that where your tribe sits now, in terms of power and knowledge, pales in comparison to where they could be.
Arudim sighs and thinks for a moment, thinking over the offer.
This journey of spiritual enlightenment can be taken by you, the godfather of this tribe, if you will, so you can see for yourself what they have to benefit from it.
Hypothetically, if I were to accept, what would you have me do in exchange?
The catch. This is the best I have to offer you, for I will not write up a contract right now. No. I do not have a contract prepared, and a professional makes sure they have a contract prepared, so I will give you this. I will write up a contract in regards to this journey of spiritual enlightenment, and what I can gain out of it. You tell me what you would like me to include in this contract in the process of writing it, and I'll have one of my people deliver it to you as soon as it is written, assuming that comes after the child arrives, which I anticipate within a few days' time.
I see.
Yes,
Again,
go ahead.
I'd like for you to be specific.
Yes.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to accept my offer. But you have given very legitimate reasons as to why you're not doing it, which is why I offer this prosperity, because quite frankly, he leans forward and plants his hand on the desk. I want you in my ranks. So, if it means your people being led to greatness in which you no longer need to lead them, so be it. That does not mean you can never see them. You are not a prisoner here. You will not need to stand out and watch my walls like the Mezoloths. No. You are special. and I want to make sure that you reach your full potential. As he starts to grin. Not sinisterly, but genuinely grin.
Arudim will return it. Kosil, I very much enjoy your style. I enjoy this conversation very much. You would have me go on a journey of spiritual enlightenment to pass it down to my tribe, and all I would need to do is join your ranks. That is the price that you are saying that this enlightenment is worth to you.
More or less, yes, but it will be written out in a contract in full detail. It will be much more descriptive than the previous one, as to cover all bases, as I can tell you weren't quite satisfied with the previous one. I do want this to be a satisfying business exchange for all parties involved.
This is a rather big decision, so,
which is
if
why
you don't mind, I will definitely think about this. This is a very interesting offer, and it pains me to not give a positive answer immediately. However, I want to make sure all of my chips are on the table, if you will.
I would completely respect that, as it will take time to write up the contract, and for the child to be delivered,
Yes,
it
now,
will take time to consider.
Kosil,
Arudim.
I am quite curious your joke with the adopted child of the Archmage.
Yes.
What do you know about him? Do you know if he was mistreated?
Oh no. He was loved very much by Mirmor. That is why it is so hilarious that he died.
I see. Interesting. It still seems odd that he didn't introduce to him as a son.
Does it concern you that much? Do you
It
have...
only concerns me as it seems just a tad rude. Then again, I'm not one to know about good fathers.
Well, I would... Perhaps it's just my humility. But if I were working for my father, then I would not want to be introduced as his son.
I see. It is not the status that troubles you, it would be making a name for yourself.
Precisely.
Crantor nods in understanding.
I see.
Yes, the son of the Stormbreaker.
He's the Avengers of the Mythos now.
Yes.
I certainly respect that. Well, Kosil, I believe my friend definitely has something to offer you. I believe he is strong, capable.
Kind of slightly nodding. Also, I want you to tell me what Crantor has been thinking this entire time since the last time I asked you. Just kind of like walk me through his surfacial thoughts. Just like the things grazing through his mind.
Right. I'll just start with that. Crantor's been listening. He's been seeing Arudim in a new light. He's very respecting of Arudim's unwillingness to commit something immediately, to shoot from the hip. Now, when Crantor heard about Kosil and his father, he understood that. He totally gets that. He gets the whole idea of wanting to stand on one's own, not being in anyone's shadow. Yes, you are correct. I do serve Heracles. However, I do so in defiance of my tribe. They follow Nike, goddess of victory. And when I was exiled, I swore vengeance on them and Nike, and it went with her enemy, Heracles, instead.
I see.
Heracles has served me well and has seen me through battle and is not a small part of my own strength.
It is likely he who has helped you become the Planeswalker that you are.
He has shown the impetus for it, but the journey I've taken has been my own.
Oh, that is not to undermine you in any way.
Crantor would have been slightly offended at that.
Yes, no, and Kosil kind of leaned back, like his hand up, his very awkward-looking hand, is kind of like, I did not mean it like that.
Crantor won't be able to hide that he's grossed out by the hand.
But yes, you are wandering the war domain of the Pantheon. It does seem that you are bred for battle, in the most figurative and literal senses of the word.
Accidentally flexes again.
Yes.
Sure is Zarbon in here.
You are another one I would like in my ranks, but I do not think your deity would appreciate of that. Really, all of you would be easily my best employees. Service thoughts?
Crantor would just think about what he knows of Heracles and how he, in case you all don't know, I've only just seen the Disney movie. Heracles got into shit. He got into some shit. He went into rage and murdered his children and his wife. Mind you, Herod did that to him, but that's not the point.
But yeah, exactly. There's a lot more to Heracles, and I'm not gonna lie, every single time his name is mentioned, which is why I like that we use Heracles instead of Hercules. It makes it easier to disassociate the image of the Disney movie character in my head, because that's not this god at all.
No, demigod.
Not even close.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
He's a demigod in the movie. No, he's an actual god in this world. He is a major god.
Yeah. So Crantor's like, Heracles can just, he understands what you gotta do sometimes. He's not above getting his hands dirty.
Yes, which is exactly where chaotic good comes from.
Correct. And that's what Crantor's thinking about right now. And besides, Crantor's a little evil, just a little bit.
It's kind of in his blood. I hate to say it, Gallataur, they kind of are those, the wildebeests.
It's more savagery than evil, per
Yes,
se.
exactly.
But yes.
Precisely it. It's more savagery than evil.
Yes.
I can't find any more words to not be redundant, so I'm going to stop. Kosil is almost nodding in approval as he's scanning his thoughts. Arden, for you, there's an awkward pause as he's almost like nodding and understanding at Crantor, who's kind of looking down in thought. And
Crantor wouldn't be looking down at all, by the way.
Okay,
He'd be keeping eye contact.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, just
kind of reading his... Yeah.
If that is all we have to discuss, then perhaps I should have Liam take you back to your quarters and can call it an evening.
You still haven't made me any offer.
Yes, well...
Very true.
I'm starting to think it might be better to make you all a collective offer.
Where's the fun in that? Crantor will just... For the first time, you'll see Crantor smile.
Kosil's eyebrows raise hard, like, I see. Okay, well...
It's a little scary to see him smile.
I'll say, losing my interest until just now. It's your people. Something you may not know about the Gallataur. They were birthed on Celestia. They were
Crantor did not know that.
When Toriel was destroyed, and Rieba born in its place, those creatures that fled from Toriel to other planes to survive the cataclysm, they ultimately did so to return to the new material plane, and those creatures that did not reside on the material plane joined them in this large voyage, if you will. Many creatures that never resided on the material plane now do. Because of the rebirth, it was almost a soft reset for this multiverse. And
Crantor will be thinking about when he met the first king of Mindafall and what he told him about that. He won't say anything, but he'll have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And Kosil kind of like stops for a second as he's like, kind of like eyebrow raised. He doesn't have any features in his eyes, so it's hard to tell where he's looking exactly when his head's not facing him, but just like eyes wide and like, oh, okay, that's... The Gallataur, they have fallen from their grace they once stood at as a result. The majority of them no longer in ties with their heritage, just as the orcs. My offer to you is that very similar to Arden's, albeit one I cannot so clearly pose yet, as I am not as familiar with your kind as I am with orcs. You see, in my long, tenured career, I have employed my fair share of orcs, and yes, the majority of them were relatively unique. They didn't fit the mold of your typical, and it was a similar situation that made me realize how much this race lacks enlightenment. But the Gallataur is one that I have lacked familiarity with until recently, so it would take a little bit more research for me. But if you so wish to have your own unique offer, separate from Arudim's here, I would be happy to oblige, and I will deliver you both your respective contracts at the same time.
Crantor will ask him straight out, am I the first Gallataur that you've ever interacted with?
Yes.
Let's see.
It was not until interacting with you I knew of your kind, and then I looked a little into it, and I have learned quite a lot. Which is probably crazy to you, because if he's implying he's only known about your race for a short amount of time and already knows what he's told you about them, he has some severe access to knowledge.
Crantor knows that he can read thoughts, so he's betting that that the majority of that has come from his own thoughts. He's not dumb, he just is dumb. He's a himbo. It's fine.
But yes, naturally, what I would get out of this deal is likely the services of at least some of your tribe, and surely they could use some work. If they are plains wanderers as you claim, they seem to be a little directionless in life, which is only helping further their stagnation as a people. Perhaps they serve as multiversal mercenaries. That's just a role very befitting of warriors of your caliber. Because while you most definitely are a head above the rest, I can only imagine that your quote-unquote average Gallataur is a force to be reckoned with.
Crantor would be thinking about the others in his tribe and the legendary heroes of his past and even his father.
Yes, many notable warriors amongst your ranks. I see it now. Now essentially indicating out loud that he's been reading your thoughts.
Crantor kind of figured.
Oh yes, no, but it's one of those. This is one of those games where, like, if something is acknowledged out loud, it doesn't matter if both people know you know. You have to play it like they don't. You know.
Exactly.
It's one of those tactics. So it's like, yeah, you knew he could probably tell you were able to read Infernal, which is why you were trying to keep your mind preoccupied. But the slightest little slip up, then he just straight up put it out there. Okay, so you can understand, kind of thing. Yeah, I love this so much. The little mind games played in between each other, and I am surprised at the lack of insight checks. I really am.
Crantor might be feeding him information. What he wants to know for his own game.
Well, I do believe that is the extent of what I have to offer you at this time. So, gentlemen, if you kindly be on your way, I will get to enjoying my meal. I'm certain you all have your own ways of nurturing yourselves. I wouldn't dare step on those traditions and or efforts. And so, I will leave
Maybe
you
not,
to your
but we
business.
could use a bottle of wine, too.
Oh, absolutely. I'll have Leomore bring you some. Just let him know what you're looking for.
Thank you.
Yes. You are very welcome. Now. And he gestures to the door.
Arudim is, like, surprisingly fast at getting up and opening that door.
Crantor is struggling with the tiny room, but, he'll get there.
He just slips by and opens the door for you, Crantor.
Appreciate that. He'll nod, and he'll look back at Kosil before he leaves, and then walk out. Not say anything, just look.
Arudim's going to look to Crantor. Don't worry, whatever we discussed in that room doesn't leave it. Cassius doesn't have to know.
Not here. The only thing he'll say is not here.
So.
Arudim nods.
But yes, Crantor would not want Leomore to hear him whisper that. So he'll roll a stealth.
Alright, so yes, both of you roll stealth checks for what you both say.
Oh, you want the rogue to roll a stealth check with expertise?
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you heard what said.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 23.
21 and a 23.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 19.
Oh.
God, it's so disgusting.
What
I love it.
So yeah, you guys all continue on. Uninterrupted, you guys say what you say, and for brevity's sake, I'm gonna just
Yeah, you can just move us to the room if you want.
That's what I shall do.
We don't hear anything invisible petering out after us, do we?
No, you do not.
God.
So yeah, you walk in, Naleek Cassius playing a game of cards, and he's like, "Fuck's sake, man! I swear you're cheating! Let me see your sleeves." He gets up on your sleeves, Cassius. He's looking up underneath your sleeves. Where are the fucking stashed
I got
cards?
nothing, mate. I got nothing, mate.
The secret's not in the sleeves, it's in the, and he makes a small little squeaking sound.
This is a game of luck. You cannot be this lucky.
I don't know, I've seen some gnomes go on crazy gambling streaks.
There's no gnome! Cassius,
There was this half-elf
are either of your
once.
parents gnomes?
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
There's,
to be fair, I never met you.
are pretty lucky.
And before Leomore goes, Crantor would have told him about bringing wine and a meal.
Yes. Any preferred flavors?
Red. 2 dry reds.
Dry reds.
And a meal of whatever you can bring for us.
Arudim walks over to Cassius and gives him the dagger.
Leomore is impressed with Crantor's, order, pretty much. He did not expect the Gallataur of all people to be like, "Oh, yes, dry red wines, please."
Impressed
Crantor's
by
been
the
around.
boy.
Yeah. Naleek, can you grant us privacy? Do you have anything for that? To make sure we're not listened to.
Let's see where you're coming from.
Because Crantor does not trust Kosil to not be spying on them still.
That's very fair.
I'm sorry. I don't have anything that can help in this situation right now.
Crantor looks disappointed, but understands.
You know what? I do have a few spell slots. He's going to drop 2 level 4 spell slots to cast Tongues once more on Cassius and on Arudim. and speaks to Crantor in Celestial. We're gonna have to, it seems like we'll have to do most of the talking just so Arudim and Cassius aren't understood, but I think this is the best bet. Yes, it makes it apparent we don't want to be listened on, but I don't think that's a problem.
Right. And Crantor will do everything in his power to think about things that are not related to the conversation.
Aha.
Cassius will hand him a jack.
Actually, Crantor was going to suggest that they all play a card game together to kind of distract them.
There you go.
Arudim just reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out a deck of very, very fine-looking cards.
Oh, by the way, Advy.
Yes. Oh, map. Oof.
I'm the map!
No, so yes, you all sit in your card game. Walking so Naleek's...
And
Arudim actually barely paying attention as he pulls out the deck of cards. He just sits and he's rubbing his head.
Naleek's like, alright, so what do you got in mind, Crantor?
first, I wanted to say what happened in there.
Alright.
I believe Kosil will be drawing this out because he wants to recruit us. He wants to do anything he can to keep us under his thumb. And while he's saying that, he's going to be thinking of home while talking. And if I have to roll something, I will happily do that.
No, I'm gonna work with that because that's nice. There's really a lot of cogs working in Crantor's head, but that's a smart way to go about it.
Mm-hmm. He made Arudim an offer to raise up his people and make it so that he was no longer needed by them, so he would have Arudim under his thumb. I played into his game and made myself an appealing target as well, so that
Cassius will hold out a card, kind of toss it out in front of you guys, and say, in common, king in exchange for the jack. What you want, mate?
Arudim throws a jack into the pile and takes the king.
Answer will toss down a 7.
That's not quite a jack.
He doesn't quite understand how the game works.
Neither does Arudim. He's not paying attention at all.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. The game is a distraction. The game is City Shuffle, y'all.
Cassius just kind of looks at you audaciously like, really? Really?
We didn't accept any offer. Neither of us did. We wanted to know... I actually, I'm going to talk for himself. I wanted to know what his game was, so I was playing into it. I didn't give him anything he couldn't already know. Well, maybe one thing, but it's immaterial at this point. He's going to try to string this along and keep us going in order to get us under his employ. That's what I got out of that. He wants us to be under his power. He's impressed by us, unfortunately.
He gave us an estimate of 3 days for the delivery of the child.
An estimate, yes.
Okay, then.
I don't like it at all.
Alright, then. And you see Naleek looking at Cassius' sly smirk and reaches underneath one of his gauntlets and pulls out the small little scroll of sending and tosses it in the pile of cards.
Up the ante, are you, mate?
I'm thinking it's do or die time.
Going all in?
I'm thinking all in.
Alright then. Guess we gotta lay all the cards on the table then, huh? By the way, Arudim, I have a question for you.
He glances at you.
You alright, mate?
Arudim folds his hand
distracted.
and he sets it down, and he takes off his gloves, revealing both of the tattoos on his hands. Bad memories is all. I just, I don't like him.
Well, let me tell you guys a story. Realize I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and then I never do. But here's the thing. You know, in this whole, I guess you could call it bounty hunting. It's not really much anything else, but I met a kitsune who was leading a tribe of bandits, and she basically ran the whole outfit. Now, obviously, looking as I do, Paul, carrying one steel sword, could have looted it off of a dead soldier. After all, I do come from a country where there was a recent war. Make perfect sense, right? I filtered my way in. And over time, naturally one of my abilities, I'm a cut above the rest. Thing to keep in mind, after doing a bit of digging, seeing if this person might know anything about my sister, or anything that might lend a lead to my purpose, I learned that kitsune promised a lot. And in my experience has delivered very little. Empty promises. Now I know a lot of you, particularly the two of you, what with your obligations, might be wondering why I turned down such a payday. After all, 9,000 platinum, I could easily buy that information myself, right? Here's the thing, a debt is a debt. There's no guarantee it'll ever be paid. If we get through with this, and the bill gets stiffed, I'm right back at square one. After all, I come out ahead. He taps his horns. I've had a bit of a homecoming, as it were.
Cassius.
Hold on, I'm getting somewhere. Don't. I understand what you both might be thinking. Let yourself not be tempted.
No, well, first of all, I'm with you on that, but I was going to mention, if your concern is misstepping a detail and not getting our just payments out of Miramor Felt Handle, do you remember what we were told earlier? The all-knowing? Granted, sigil, that's a venture, but you could find out anything. I can tell you right now, I'm personally very tempted by that. And he looks up at you, Crantor, kind of like with a genuine look. Almost a pretty please can we go there soon kind of thing.
Crantor would give him a slight nod.
I could get a real understanding about Carrick's situation. His disappearance 7 years ago. What he was really looking for. Something. Even if it's just being told he died, it's closure.
My point, though, is that it's easy to get tempted by the promise of riches.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying to stray away from it.
Look at where we're at. We're literally in the middle of hell. We've put our lives on the line how many times? For the promise of riches. Now I'm here for a personal reason. I don't like the idea that a child got taken from home. It's kind of what I do. But the two of you haven't been paid yet, and you've almost died how many times?
Crantor will look offended. He's going to look at you and say, my reason for doing this is not monetary. I care not for wealth. My tribe, we are wanderers, we're nomads. We don't need wealth. Came because I was asked, because I had experience traveling the plains, and because there was a child in need. That's why I'm here.
Perhaps I'm getting my metaphors crossed here. I'm going to put it bluntly. This man makes a lot of promises. I've met too many like him. He's not to be trusted.
Do you mean the Archmage, or do you mean the Rakshasha?
All of the above, mate. In the immediate, after all, you saw us when we first got here. He was reading our thoughts. After all, I pinpointed it by calling him out on it. There's already the seeds of distrust. I can't tell you the number of criminal organizations like this one I've seen. I've brought down a few of them myself. They are a structure built on mistrust. Now, say what you want about politicians, I don't trust a lot of them, but that's just old wounds being drudged up. Listening to what Crantor was saying about him making the offer, it's a lot of pretty words, mate. It's a lot of pretty words.
And I never said I was taken in by a single one of them. I wanted to know what he wanted.
Artem just clenches his fists together.
Can I insight that?
Absolutely, yeah, if Artem's okay with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you trying to, keep it to yourself, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean,
then no.
In a way, he's kind of just in his own zone at the moment.
That's a 10. I must use the big one from now on.
I heard the boom boom.
That was only the medium one.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
You're also doing an insight, Crantor. Okay, well, Cassius, unfortunately a 10. It's a negative emotion, most certainly. He's not trying to hide that. Crantor, you can sense frustration and anger, maybe a hint of grief. He seems frustrated with himself.
Gotcha.
And maybe a hint of stress.
Let me put it to you this way. Perhaps I could be a bit more familial. After all, that's why I'm here. Cassius will stand up and he'll lift his shirt and he'll show you the gash going across his stomach. It might be a bit hypocritical of me to say, don't trust this guy when I've literally made a pact with an archdevil. I understand the irony in that, believe me, but there's a big difference. She saved my life and then asked for approval. She didn't ask first. It sounds like this guy is asking for you to sign up before giving you any sort of payment.
Arden unclenches his hands, and he folds them together, and he looks at you very seriously. I don't give a damn what he offers. I don't give a damn what he wants. He can take that fucking contract and shove it up his ass. I don't care. I came here to save a kid and make sure my people, my family, the only people who've ever given a damn about me, can finally live without fear for a little bit. Enjoy themselves a little bit. I don't care what the odds are. I don't care what society says. I don't care what the rich say. I do what I want, and I do what I think is right. If I'm being honest, I really don't like this place. I don't like him. I don't like our employer. I don't like any of this.
Alright, then this is my mindset. Okay. We signed a contract that says this kid is being delivered to us when they are safe. Where we are matters not. Okay, that contract, we're gonna work the details of it. Just like a devil would. Just like he's trying to do. I'm gonna use the sending scroll, contacting Miramore, telling him, come get us, these are the circumstances, this is the assurance, and we'll show him the contract if he wants the proof. We'll leave it off on there. If he has an issue with it, we can tell him to go fuck himself. But I'm 100% with Arudim. I don't want to be here. I don't want to go to sleep tonight on Avernus.
Naleek, with that sending, I think we should request him getting the herbs that you need.
We can do that on our own plane.
Most likely. Yes, that's what I mean.
We can do that face to face, yeah.
If he can acquire the herbs for us, tell him to take it out of my payment.
No worries about that. He can take it out of mine. That's details to figure out later. But as far as I'm concerned, if we're being listened in on us, and this is our plan, we need to act on it now.
Artem's gonna listen outside the door. Does he hear anything? And he mouths to them, keep talking.
I mean,
Naleek. Roll a perception check if you'd like.
Alright, hell yeah.
In common, Cassius will say, and besides, worst case scenario, I can always call him my crazy grandmother. You know how that woman loves fire.
Yes, she does. What a woman she is, he says, just dusting off some ashes.
Cassius will lean around and look at you with a smile on his face. She likes you, mate. She really does like you.
Me, I don't think that should count. Again, should I get her a gift basket? Like, what does she... How could I say I'm sorry?
I could ask.
I think you have to set something on fire.
Yeah, maybe she likes arson. Cassius, if you could, ask her, what could I get for her to make this smooth over a little bit?
I'll tell you what, when we lay down for the night, I will.
That would be fantastic. God, I never thought I would miss the horrific smell of an orc camp.
You should try being in a Gallataur camp.
I'd imagine it's around on par.
You ever crawled around a sewer, mate?
Sewers are a beauty salon in comparison to an orc camp. At least before I took charge. As my mother used to say, cleanliness is godliness.
You guys would swim around in your own shite?
Before I took charge, they didn't really care.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yes, I know. There's a reason I'm glad I'm half human.
Remind me to introduce you to Rosie, because she has a way with teaching people hygiene. Trust me.
Oh, no, trust me. I'm going to need it. A few of them are still stuck in their old ways, especially the old shaman. He looks sick. He looks ill.
All right,
Crantor,
you and me.
I have one of those, too.
All right.
When we get out of this, we're going back to Mo. You can meet up with your tribe. Hell, you can bring some of them if you want. But we gotta go to Mo, and we gotta talk to Rosie.
In Ragnwrath?
That was an 18 perception, by the way.
Yes, no, I was playing that into mind. You're listening down, and you're not hearing any movements, except for the distance of the Conaloth making its noises.
Rounds, okay, yeah. Arudim is going to go back to the group. I don't hear anything other than the hounds.
Naleek opens up the scroll.
Do we have a copy of our contract that we signed?
Yes. Any of us can
Artem's going to look at the contract. Does the contract say that they will deliver the child to us directly, no matter where we are?
It doesn't say no matter where you are. It just says deliver to you directly.
Okay, so there we go. There's our stipulation. If we go to the Archmage's sanctum, we say have him prepare, they will literally just give us the kid when we're in his own sanctum and have a hint of backup.
Exactly.
And we'll be on home field advantage.
Precisely.
Now, does the contract say that the kid will be unharmed. And I've known
It does specify the kid was unarmed. We did make
Yes.
sure of that.
The kid will be
But-
delivered to you safely, so long as it's within their control. Implying that if the kid is harmed, it is not their doing, in honest of ways, kind of thing. The contract binds them to the honesty.
So if the kid is dead by the time they find the kid, they'll still give us the kid, but they'll be like, hey, it died because of them, not us. And then, whoo boy.
Yeah, because you don't know what's been happening on Rieba.
We don't, not at all. We've had zero contact with Rieba.
And we really don't even know how long it's been.
Not technically. I mean, time could be different planar-wise.
Usually is.
Arudim,
Crantor, you know you spent
actually
real
just
time in...
discards his gloves.
I thought it was faster.
No, it wasn't. Not in Celestia. In the astral plane.
You'll see Cassius start to act panic. What do you mean time passes differently, mate?
Depending on which plane that you're on, sometimes it can go faster or slower.
Like a day
The
in
material.
here, 24 hours here could be 37 in the material plane, or vice versa.
I will say
Horrible.
I've been to both the Feywilds and here on Avernus prior in my life, and my time spent on Avernus seemed to be equivalent to time on Rieba, but my time in the Feywilds was really funky, and I don't know how much time I spent in the astral plane in between. That Fey really just decided to mess with me. I wandered through the astral plane for I have no idea how long.
So what you're saying is that time here is comparable to there.
Yes, if it's been about 4 days here, so it should have been only 4 days in Rieba.
And what day did our friend die?
Day 2, I
That was
believe.
the second, yeah.
Yes, day 2. So we've still got a good chunk of time before, well, your spell won't work. Therefore, we should be in the clear to keep going with this plan.
You hear footsteps and a door.
Arudim looks at the door and readies his knife behind his back as he goes to open it.
Naleek opens the scroll and he just starts using the spell.
France will
Arudim
actually be in
opens
front of the door.
Crack oh, that's right. It's going to be the food and the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Arudim will exit the room and take it.
Yes.
A pleasure.
Absolutely. Do let us know if you need anything else.
Thank
Oh,
you.
did you remember to get the beer?
Oh, no, yeah,
We
you
have wine. Duh. He just opens the door. What are we, dwarves? No.
Godless heathen.
We
What
have...
part of Wagonwrath didn't you understand?
What part of culture do you need to be explained?
You hear another door.
All of it?
Arudim just rolls his eyes. Crantor, you're with me on this one. You picked out the wine.
Absolutely. But, Naleek, the only thing I can think of before you cast that.
It's already been cast. I'm sorry.
Above game, he was making noise to drown out Naleek's spellcasting.
Oh, Naleek didn't have to say anything out loud after he said the word sending. He was thinking the rest of the spell. But, yeah, I'm sorry. As soon as I heard him coming, I figured that it was just necessary. I completely forgot about the food. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. We can eat it.
It's fine.
No, wait,
The
and
only-
again. Hold on, wait. Let's not, just in case it's, like, got a narcotic in it or something.
Do you purify food and drink, Naleek?
Arudim, with your perception, you can tell... Arudim, with your perception, you can tell the food isn't quite as warm as you would have expected. Like, it was cooked fresh, but it's almost like it's cooled off a little.
I will say the food is a bit less temperate than I expected. It was cooked fresh, I can tell, but this is... They let this cool, and by that I mean they could have had time to do something to it.
It's also
Yeah, not
something-
trusting that with a 6-foot pole, not even the wine.
I mean,
Yeah, Crantor, you can tell that the bottle, specifically like around the snout of it, I guess, it feels warm, like it's been held for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a little sketch.
I mean,
Right, so we don't trust this at all. God, sets everything down.
Hello. And then
Jesus
It's
Christ,
all-
man.
it's Archmage Miramore, as he's just kind of looking.
Hold on, orcish gods.
Oh no. You can't be serious. He's looking at Naleek, nodding. He's like, listen, please. I beg of you, just take us back to Rieba right now. And he's looking at Naleek with such a scorn. He's like, where's Cost?
Arudim looks at him, and he says, Cost died the second day because he and I were under the influence of the plane. I have his remains. Naleek can bring him back to life.
He closes his eyes, he's really pursing his lips as he's trying to just keep his composure, and he offers his hands for everyone to
He will
link.
be alive. He'll be fine.
Cassius will mention, don't forget, Our dear friend Crantor here laid his soul to rest and offered a protection to him for the duration. He will be fine. We took preventative measures to make sure that he was fine.
And to keep him
Leomore
fine,
appears
why don't we...
in the room. Oh, an unexpected visitor. Starts looking around at everybody. What is this about?
Simply talking over details with our employer. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, because Crantor is actually going to make his every effort to put himself between Leomore and the group.
I went to click on my token and accidentally paused the stream.
You see, that's all fine and dandy, but Miramore isn't quite as welcome as you all are.
Understandable. We'll be leaving in just a moment.
Oh, will you now?
We will.
Just for a moment, we will return, I promise. In fact, if you prefer, I can stay here while they go. They must discuss something of great importance.
I see. What is this discussion that must be had? Kosil looks
It is simply of great importance regarding our pay.
Oh, how much are you paying them, Miramore?
Unfortunately, due to confidentiality, my dear friend, and professionalism, that's none of your business.
Arudim, you're always the consummate professional. That's why I respect you, mate.
Well, quite frankly, I'm not certain. I appreciate your presence, Miramore. You should have knocked first. Off to Carcery! And he attempts to cast Plane Shift, is the banishment form, on Miramore.
Can I just fuck him up?
Yeah.
I mean, the spell's already being cast, so it wouldn't do anything to the spell. Second for Miramore.
I knew I should have taken
Miramore
me.
stiffs it. I see. Counterspell.
Hell yeah, fuck you.
Cassius, he's gonna look, he's gonna see.
Why are you
Crantor's
not
proximity
grabbing my
to
hands yet? Miramore says.
Fair point.
Artem is going to grab Crantor by any means necessary. He's gonna put a foot towards Malik, and he's gonna put his other hand on the wizard.
Crantor's going to have one hand on his axe, like, protecting everyone, and one hand back.
You guys notice as
In
you
Orcish,
begin...
I just say, just business, as we poof.
Yeah, you guys notice just as you're disappearing that they're not going out of their way to stop it, which is why I didn't roll initiative, because otherwise that's how that would have had to go down. But they're letting you teleport with like grimaces on their face. They are not the slightest pleased.
Yeah, well, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Fucking
You
god.
tried to do something to our food, for sure, 100%.
The food and the food and wine is still in your hands as you guys teleport.
Nah, fuck that shit.
No,
Nope.
we wouldn't have taken that.
Oh,
No
Hey,
way.
Arudim, can you hand me that bottle real quick, mate?
Yeah, sure. Hand it to you.
Archmage, I am sorry about this if I miss. He's gonna throw it in the air and he will summon his pack weapon and immediately Eldritch blast the bottle.
Sure. As you throw it up into the air and blast it, they kind of just sit back and watch as you do this, and everyone makes physical connection and teleports.
Whew, well.
And you all appear for the first time in what feels like eternity, even though it was just a simple 4.5 days. You appear in the middle of a laboratory of sorts, a wizard's keep, but the laboratory section of it. Apologies, I was in the middle of my work. I didn't want to take us through the astral plane because this was quite frankly quicker, and he could have pursued us through the astral plane, although he seemed
Thank
to
God
let
that
us
you
go.
did. Well, Arudim is going to proceed to explain everything, the contract, his son's unfortunate demise, his personally taking responsibility for he was affected by the plane unknowingly until Naleek fixed him. He explains that he believes Naleek might be able to fix him, and he, again, apologizes profusely for not doing a better job.
The Archmage will take a lot of this in stride and understand where you're coming from, and he will explain to you all that Koss knew what he was getting into. He specifically was adamant that he was not introduced as his son because Koss wanted to be seen not as the son of the Archmage, but as his own.
I completely understand that. However, the plane affected the both of us. It was that influence that prevented the both of us from acting accordingly.
He was
We
not
didn't even
prepared.
notice it until it got to me. And the fact that it got to me is,
Concerning, to say the least.
But we did seem to procure a contract. Your daughter should be delivered within a few days. And one other thing I want to bring to your attention, mate, is that, and he's still holding his packed weapon, kind of got in contact with me. Well, been affectionately referring to her as my grandmother. And as I do now have eyes in that realm, so to speak, I know that she's looking out for me.
Well, I understand where you all are coming from. There's a lot of things that I need to take the time to process. I'd like y'all to just get some rest. I'll have my people escort you to some proper, not hellish quarters, and we will all convene in the morning and discuss these details proper after I've processed, after you all have gotten a good night's rest. And I thank you for your efforts. Make no mistake. I truly appreciate everything you have done, be it attempts, successes, or failures. So please, you have a good evening. And he'll walk over to the door and open it to let you guys out of his quarters, and some robed guards will escort you to what would be preferable resting area for you all, and we'll call it there. Make sure to come into the next Planeswalker session 2 weeks' time from now as level 13.
So,
Yo.
there you have it, boys. This season finale.
We
And
made it,
a
y'all.
2-week cliffhanger.
Thank you all for sticking through this late. Y'all have a good night.